9 cycles have passed. When the gods deem mortals too powerful, they decree a race between their avatar and the mortals to determine their worth. In the race, the mortals are granted a chance to engage the very gods themselves. The mortals are granted a chance of survival. The mortals are granted a chance to become gods. Lose and see all mortal life removed from the kryn, and the next cycle begins. This race is the final command of the gods to their mortal counterparts. This is their dying order.
Hello everybody and welcome to the beginning of the stream. It's Tablestory's Dying Order, featuring all of your wonderful Dying Order friends, except for Disby Arix, who could not be here due to thieving. Bo's gone a-thieving. Bo's gone a-thieving for a week and pickpocketing. Phoebe, you look like you're going to say something?
No.
Oh. Okay.
What?
All right. Well, you look like you were like doing this, like you were like, you know, when people want to jump into the conversation. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. It is going to be an interesting one, I think. How are you boys doing? You guys ready to roll some dices and things and stuff? Pocket is currently in a submarine under water.
I am. I'm in the submarine that we built.
Yeah, she's in the submarine right now. So that's those of you that are listening, it is just she's 1,000 leagues under the sea.
Trying to save the world.
Space,
Thank you.
As usual. PB is losing her mind. Why are you losing your mind,
What?
PB?
Oh, now?
Well, if I don't do it now,
Okay.
you're gonna die.
I'm
you're gonna
vomit.
pass out.
Yeah. I might pass out. I'm excited because my new show is coming soon, and we're gonna show a trailer, right? We're gonna do the cast reveal right now.
Right now.
Right? Are we not? Is it not now?
Right now?
Yes?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right now. All
Yes.
right, let's go. Now you hold on just 1 minute here. What on earth was all of that? Chaos. Madness.
Wednesdays, 4:30, starting March
Wednesdays.
4th.
I'm in it.
Yeah.
No one
They
expected
didn't guess.
that.
They didn't guess. They said Brad would not be in another PB campaign, so it can't be him. Except that the puzzle literally linked to something that said Brad. I was like, this is easiest one. They're going to get
What
this
puzzle?
right away. What do you mean, what puzzle?
It was a puzzle?
Yes, there was a huge puzzle to reveal the title of the show and then to reveal some of the cast as well.
Madness.
Yeah, madness.
Absurdity.
They got it all except for you. They got it all except for you.
There you go. Well, there's all the information you need. If you want to question PB on it, you can question her in the Discord, and go on over and begin whatever you want to begin doing. Theory crafting, planning, freaking out, whatever it is.
You can also go to tablestory.tv/gone for any information, cast, and stuff like that.
Yeah?
Yeah, for those listening that might not join the Discord. It's all there.
But it doesn't make any sense. There are 45 cast members. Did you just recently play Chrono Cross? And you're like, I want 100.
So now you know why the whole time, well, you don't know everything, but a lot of my playthrough of Chrono Cross, I was like, I don't understand what's happening right now. It's the simulation providing for me.
I also don't know anything about anything.
I know. It's beautiful.
Which is amazing. We've been sworn off of looking into any of it. So the only thing I know is my character.
That is something that I would like to mention, that the cast has an edited version of the rule book. So those of you who have found the rule book, please don't come at the cast with information. Shh.
I don't know anything.
Shh.
I don't know anything. All right. Well, there you go. Gone. Starting soon.
Yes.
But until then, to tide you over, we have Dying Order. Those of you that were here last time, I'll give you a little recap, though it might not matter much. The gang here arrived in the big city life, and it is Ellie and Beau's home, Bellona, the capital city of Alexandria, one of the biggest continents filled with a lot of people. Alexandria is also home to Aura, but Aura lives in a nice little quiet village on the edge of town, or on the edge of the world, really, on the edge of a forest, tucked away. Whereas Ellie and Beau are from the big city where things are done a little differently. Aura found it out by face planting the ground. Again, things are done a little differently in the big city. Ellie and Sauna had a little head-butting match, because I think Sauna probably doesn't understand exactly everything about what's going on with Ellie and the big city life and why things are the way they are. Also, Sauna is just reeling from several quite difficult episodes in a row, and also all of you are on a weird mission from God to kill God. So it's been an interesting one. Where we left you guys off is where kind of we're gonna begin today, except for Sauna. Sauna's not there, but Ellie and Aura and Beau. You okay? Well,
yeah, I just broke my cam. I'm sorry.
It's illegal
I'll
for you
fix
to
it. I'll
change
fix
that.
it.
It's illegal
I'm
for
sorry.
you to change.
I'll fix it. Oh God.
Oh
no.
Said it's illegal. What are you showing? Oh my God. I can't even cover you up with a thing because I don't have it prepared. Why?
It's breaking.
Why? All right, hang on.
I'm sorry. It's breaking.
Let me put. Do I have some silly?
Oh dear God.
Okay. All right.
Confirmed. PB is a computer.
Yes. It has
The
been.
big reveal.
It has been confirmed.
I'm so sorry. It crashed. Just give me 1 sec.
It's okay. I was just going to try and play some silly music, but it didn't work. So it's actually given me a chance to fix my stuff. What about this one?
Okay, I think I fixed it. Yes, that's working.
PB's new theme.
Is it? Hello?
Right.
I did it.
Now you've
Okay, but now we need
destroyed
to switch ourselves, right?
everything.
That's cool. That's all right. We can all turn our video off, right?
Yes.
Hey, PP, you're next.
I always like the people that must be listening to this on the MP3. All right.
Okay.
PB, then KPP, then Pocket. People that are listening to this on the MP3 have no idea what's happening because we're just reacting to things on the stream. All right. Okay. Now.
Hey, let me try that again.
Can I play?
Yes.
Can I play the game now, PB? Do you mind? Do you mind
Yep.
not
Okay, bye.
completely
I'm not
overtaking
here.
me? All right. So you guys went to the Duke and Trap, if you recall, and underneath the Duke and Trap there is a basement, little basement under there with which is access to where Ellie goes to do assassin things. I think that's where we pick up. So essentially, we come to Bellona once again. Night is probably approaching fast, if not sort of falling. Ellie, you step into this sort of abandoned basement beneath the Duke and Trap. Aura and Bo are behind you, maybe looking a little confused. This is a pretty random spot to be going down into this basement. There's a set of stairs that lead down from a trapdoor that lead up into one of the back rooms in the Duke and Trap. And there's also this just kind of open archway that leads down into an empty basement. There'd probably be like a chill. There'd probably be some water and snow coming in from the open door. Things like leaves and stuff and dust, cobwebs all around you. There are rotten wooden beams above you, the discarded rags of a vagrant who has long since departed, and empty sort of wooden kegs that are rotten away, broken and filled with cobwebs all around the room. And ahead of you, Ellie, you probably stride across the room in what looks like a strange fashion as you walk towards a barely visible recess, a little recession in the wall in the shape of a small pentagram. It's around the same shape as the pentacle, the little bronze pentacle that's in your pocket. Do you put the pentacle in there?
Yeah. I
There's,
try to do it in sort of like this swift, like almost like I'm just rubbing my hand over it, but I slide the pentacle in.
Right, yeah. And
to like make it not obvious that I have a key or something to people around.
I think Aura and Bo are probably slightly too distracted to even notice what you're doing. You've led them down into this basement, and then suddenly you touch a far wall. Then suddenly, probably they snap their heads back towards where you are, as there's a grinding of stone and metal, and the wall shifts out of place. There's a small puff of dust from the awning as a doorway reveals itself to you, and there's a stairway that leads down into darkness. There are sconces on the walls that light some of the well-kept stone, very different to the kind of open planned basement thing filled with dust and dirt. If this were a movie, we'd probably see our camera move across Ellie's shoulder and take a view of the stairway before turning back on itself and revealing a much younger Ellie. Somewhere in her mid-teens, behind her, Bo and Aura are gone, and Ellie arrives at the Shadow Syndicate on the night of her initiation. I think you probably start heading down. You've been here plenty of times.
I immediately walk down. There's like a what is it? A sort of giddiness to my steps. My hair is like loose and curly like this. It's not like the, pinned back and braided look that Ellie usually has. And there's no scars visible. Obviously, she's younger. She has a little bit of freckles on her cheeks. And my hair, despite this, is actually blonde, a very light, pale blonde. So.
Yeah, I think as you head down these steps, where are you going? What do we see?
As I head down the steps, it's sort of like when the door opens, the steps curve, so you can't necessarily see where I'm going at first. You just see more steps as they sort of disappear downwards. And then when I get to the bottom, it's just this circular corridor with branches of hallways that go out. And in this corridor, there's obviously a giant rug with the Syndicate symbol on it in red and black. And then a table, or a few tables, lots of seating area, some books, and some it's like a big study, honestly.
Right.
So a meeting place of sorts.
And where are you aiming for? Are you like
That's it's.
aiming for
That's
there,
where
or are
I'm
you
aiming
heading?
for, honestly. Yeah, there'd be a lot of people there waiting for me, kind of like something was expected of me in that moment.
Right. Yeah, you head into this kind of open study, and I think, yeah, like you said, there's a bunch of people down there, expectantly waiting, but no one's really. These aren't jovial types. They are probably kind of stony-faced, cold-looking people, different ages and sizes. I don't think there's a lot of people in here either. There's probably like an eighth of the maximum members of the guild here, and that's still not too many. And there's a handful of faces that look at you. Maybe some of the younger faces give you a nod. There are two faces that are looking at you a little more quizzically, I think. One of them being of Samuel, who's looking at you a little confused. I think you're probably friends, or friendly, but he's maybe a little jealous of you because his initiation hasn't happened yet, and you've maybe come up together around the same age,
Yeah.
same deal going on, and in the back of the room there is another figure, much taller figure, a human man that you recognize, who's beginning to get on in his years, but he's not really old yet. He wears the same garb as you, and you're probably in like the official Shadow Syndicate garb. What does that look like?
This is actually the first day I actually got to wear the official garb. Before then, it was just sort of like old leathers that a lot of the younger people had to wear. But this one, it's pristine, it's brand new, it's fitted to my body to be tight, but still like allow movement. It's all black with the trimmings being in a sort of blood red. And then it has a black hood, and then obviously a scarf to go over the mouth that you can just pull up and pull down. And gloves, it has the whole works. It looks really nice, and it's the first time I've gotten to wear it, which is probably why I'm so giddy right now, because
Yeah.
I feel for once I actually like am a part of the Syndicate.
Yeah, and like there are maybe a couple of other younger members that are feeling that same excitement. You can see like of all the stony faces around, the younger faces are very different. They're kind of smiling, and there's an excitement to them. Maybe one of the tables in the corner as they kind of whisper quietly as you walk past. The human figure, the larger, more imposing figure, wearing the same garb as you, maybe slightly older, more worn, several layers deeper. Zach, this is the leader of the Shadow Syndicate, one of the most powerful people in the city, by proxy, kind of one of the most powerful people in the world as well. He's quite tall, strong-looking, but lithe. Everyone knows that he's sort of a master in all weaponry. It's ridiculous. But like you, he favors daggers and light bows. And tonight he's wearing this black hood that you might not have ever seen him in. It's embroidered with deep reds, and even though this hood might be 100 years old, maybe hundreds of years old, it looks brand new, and it's the ceremonial hood of initiation. There's a dark shadow that lies across his eyes, and it shields them from you. And on his approach, he silently approaches you, quietly. I don't think he's necessarily a talkative man or the most warm and friendly guy or anything, but tonight it seems odd, almost uncomfortable, I think. And before you even step into the room, he walks over to you, and in front of everybody, he says nothing. But he places a hand on your shoulder, and it feels very heavy, a lot heavier than you would expect from this man. And he looks down towards you, removes his hand, reaches into his own hood, and then places a black velvet envelope into your hands. Without saying anything, he clicks at 2 other members of the group, and then heads out of the room. What do you do?
I take the envelope in hand, and I've been waiting to receive this. I've seen it happen to others, and got to hear the stories of their sort of initiation day. So this is exactly why I'm here and what I'm waiting for. And I know what's to be expected of me. And so I think it's sort of like a kid that's trying to impress the elders. So I like stand up straight and I look at people around me. But I do watch as he leaves because he didn't say anything. And I find that odd.
Yeah.
Like I expected him to at least say something to me.
Yeah,
So...
it definitely seems strange. 2 other members stand up from a table. Younger members like you, but ones that have passed their initiation maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. And they all walk out of the room. The older members of the group and the people at the tables, they look down, they look away from you, and they go back to their drinks, no conversation, their food and drinks, or whatever they're doing. Maybe 2 or 3 people leave and head off out of the room elsewhere. It's not quite the celebration you'd expect, and you've probably seen a few initiations, and some of them seem a little more upbeat than this, some of them seem just like this, some don't. A lot of them you don't see. You just know that the guild leader hands somebody an envelope, and it's almost no different to how everybody gets handed the name of their target.
It's kind of, I think it would be kind of odd for me because I have seen the initiations up to this point, and it seemed like at least people were trying to be encouraging and being like, yeah, we're going to get a new member today, go out there, and then no one's talking to me.
Right,
and
today's
I'm just
a little odd.
Stunned. Yeah.
The younger members still seem to be brimming with somewhat of excitement, but they're cautious of you as they probably
I'm trying to
be.
capture eyes of the older members, though, honestly, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't think any of them do look at you. I think almost all of them are looking away from you. Yeah, no one's looking at you, no one. It's weird, and I think it's uncomfortable and strange for you.
I guess you would see the happiness just sort of like drain out of me, and a fear would start to like cause my heart to beat really fast, and it's like, well, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? Do people not want me here? And I'd start to doubt myself immediately and worry. And so as I'm like just left to myself, I decide to rip open the envelope and pull out the piece of paper.
Yeah.
And as I read it, I just stare at it.
The envelope contains a single piece of paper, a small single piece of paper, and the name written on there says Gertrude Jones.
I look up at Samuel and maybe some of the older people, and I'm like, this is a joke, right? This isn't mine. This is clearly a joke. There's no way that this is, and I don't show anyone because you're not really supposed to, but I'm just like, no, this isn't right. Did I get and I look where the leader had been, where he had walked down, and if no one stops me, I'm going to run after him.
Yeah, he seems to be long gone. Let's see here. No one stops you. Someone does stop you. As you turn around, there's a panic that runs across your face. Near the doorway is one of the older members, a dwarf who sits there. He's a very quiet man, but a generally well-respected elder. Has been with the guild for, as far as anyone's aware, forever. As you start to bolt out of the room, you feel a hand reach out and grab at your wrist, and he looks up at you and says, "Don't do it."
Don't do what?
Get on with your job.
So this is real?
Hey, you're almost one of us now. You got a job to do. Sharpen your knives. Steel yourself.
And he lets you go and turns back to his big tankard of whatever he's drinking. Swill.
I think as he turns, I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. And like my lip starts to quiver, and I don't think anyone's seen me cry, but I legit look like I'm about to break down. And I try my best to just sit there, and I start shaking and looking around. And then I run down a hallway. Not the one that the leader went down. I run down a different one. And I'm going to sort of the room that all the people who have not been initiated yet, where we stay.
Yeah. So you run off down another hallway. In another room, however, there is Aya and Zalisha. And you guys are in the initiation hall, or in the room at first, and then you're ordered out, and you see Zach, your guild leader here, hand the envelope to Ellie. You see him walk past her, no words. You know that these two are a little friendly. They're closer than he is with most other people here. And he turns to each of you and clicks at you and just orders you out. So the two of you presumably follow him out, and he heads down one of the branches of the Winding Assassins Guild and takes you into just a darkly lit room, maybe like a storeroom or something like that. Nowhere really official or anything like that. And he turns to each of you again. He's quite an imposing figure for an older man, not necessarily big or anything, but just his presence, the power that he wields, just almost politically, is so insane. You guys are probably quite young as well, though that you have been initiated. You are in. You've got your official pentacles, your garb. Who do we see in Aya first? Who's standing there?
Aya is an elf. She's about 5'5". She's 17 years old, so she's pretty young. She's unassuming, petite, slender. She's got long black hair that is kind of wrapped up and kept up around like a hairpin. She has some armor, but she wears kind of flowy clothes underneath that armor. That's Aya.
And what about Zalisha?
Zalisha is very slim. She's got a human appearance, but she's got what looks like patches of scales on her face. And when she opens her mouth, you notice her tongue is forked. And her eyes, they look like snake eyes. They're green with just a sliver of black in the middle. She just looks very stern, but she's tall and slender, and she's about 16.
You see the guild leader turn to you. He's still got this ceremonial head on. It kind of shields his face from you. He's not like he's not what you would describe as necessarily like an evil man or anything like that. But he's a very cold person and usually very stern. He's relatively militant in his approach to things. But you know, you've seen him laugh and smile and things. But tonight he seems almost a little distant, a little cold. And his skin seems a little pale underneath that hood. He says, "You have been selected to join in on tonight's initiation."
Well, thank you.
He leans now casually against maybe a set of crates and folds his arms, but continues to speak. He says, "Elian is a special name. I intend to draw out whatever magic might lie in her name, in her blood. You two are taking up support roles. Under no circumstances are you to engage her main target before she does. However, you are to ensure that absolutely no one, and I cannot stress this enough, no one, is to see you, hear you, know you are there. the repercussions of tonight in Fool's hands could lead to a war in the streets between us and that of the Thieves Guild.
She's so special. Why does she need us?
Should any eyes land upon you, her, this, we cannot have it fall back to us. You are a safety net and insurance.
I just smirk at him.
She is not one of us yet.
Is she ready?
We will find out before the night is done. Should any eyes land upon you, immediately remove those eyes. Am I understood?
You're understood.
Ellie is particularly important to me, as you well know. Her task tonight will not be an easy one. If she fails to go through with it, you must eliminate her target for her, but only when you are absolutely sure she has failed. If you believe her to have failed, you will eliminate her as well. Leave no trace behind. Am I understood?
You would have us remove her?
Yes. Not everyone passes the initiation.
Yeah, that can be done.
All right.
Dismissed.
Does he leave, or is he expecting us to walk off?
He looks away
Okay.
from you and down.
Oh, right. Okay. Time to walk out of the room. Then that is exactly what I do.
I follow her.
Yeah, you head out. You see Ellie walk into down a corridor ahead of you. Not out as if she was going up. Not towards maybe where the armory is, but back towards where the quarters are for the uninitiated, the younger members, the trainees, and things like that.
Okay. I will take on a tailing stance with Zell. Like, I assume we're going to pretend to chat, or maybe even actually chat while we kind of tail her and watch her and see where she goes.
You guys are more than welcome to do this as a 3. You know that initiations aren't necessarily like a thing where you have to follow and stuff like that. You can take it on as a group, as long as she is the one that deals the killing blow on the target. Her target is a single name. Your target is anyone that sees her fuck up or you fuck up.
Yep.
You know, that kind of thing. So you don't need to trail her. You can, I mean, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah. How often, I have a question for you. How often has or would we even know about it if the syndicate has used assassins as scapegoats before?
In what sense?
Because that's the first thing that came to mind when he said, we can't have this fall back on us, and you're there as kind of like insurance. I'm sure he meant on a surface level, we're there to take care of it, but also what Aya took from that is if it fucks up, they're just going to blame us as doing it and have hands off on the syndicate.
No, it wouldn't matter. You're all considered, family.
Okay, so they wouldn't
there is
do
a
that to
there
us.
is a
Okay.
camaraderie, and it's not a normal family, right? It's not a warm family or anything like that.
No, of course not.
But if one of you is caught or used, and there isn't a scapegoat, it falls on the entire syndicate.
Got it.
One for all or whatever. So you guys see her walk swiftly, maybe awkwardly for Ellie, down a hallway ahead of you, and then you begin to follow her quietly.
Yes.
All right, give me stealth checks. Both of
I'll
you.
talk to Zell as well.
All right.
It's 23 for both of us.
Nice. Yeah, I mean you're unable to be seen, or at least Ellie is not necessarily aware of you yet. I'm using your passive perception. Also, you have a character sheet called Teen Ellie, because now we have like 3 different Ellies: Kid Ellie, Teen Ellie, and Normal Ellie. So that was the best I could come up with. I don't think you notice these two appear. I don't think you give a fuck either necessarily. What do you say to each other, the stalkers?
Do you think that she'll do it?
I don't know. She seems a little soft.
I always like that about her, actually.
I won't get her very far, though.
Care to wager?
How much?
Something small, 5 gold.
All right. Are you for or against?
I don't think she'll do it.
I think she will.
Wager is set then. Shall we?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. You go ahead.
No, you.
I'm just gonna pick up the pace to try to catch up with Ellie.
Yeah, you guys round the corner and you see Ellie walk into the quarters, the area where the younger members and trainees move in. Ellie, as you open the door and you step in, I think you see, and there's only one person in there. One of the younger members of the group who still stands taller than you, the 6 foot tall but only 13-year-old Goliath known as Wolf Killer. And generally known as one of the more friendly people here. A lot of the assassins are quite cold, and it's not a necessarily like friendly environment. But this guy's always been quite friendly. He appeared one day, not long probably after you got here, but a little younger. And at first it was they didn't really have him training. Because he didn't speak common, so they wasn't too sure whether he would actually be a viable candidate for training and stuff like that. So they had him doing a lot of just menial tasks like providing food and things. You guys have people that work here that aren't assassins. It's just people that would do cooking, cleaning, and providing like drinks and things like that. Runners that go around town, sworn to secrecy. That being said, a couple of years ago, Wolf Killer finally learned enough of the common language, became a little more viable, and recently he's been training to be an assassin, and he's not the best. Everyone's kind of aware of it, but he is getting a little better. He's not very dexterous. He's big and strong, but you've got bigger and stronger people here. He is sitting probably at a table, and as you walk in, his eyes widen out. He looks at you, and he's got like a pale kind of grey skin, and he's wearing the assassin's garb as well. No hood up. As soon as you walk in, he sits up and says,
"Well, what is it? He's done?"
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, well, you must have passed.
No, I haven't even started. I just got it.
Oh.
And I like shake the envelope at him. It's been opened.
You want to tell me who?
Not really.
It's a scary one. Yeah.
Something like that.
The others think you are going to get a queen.
Queen?
Yeah, go kill the queen. Is the queen right? They only give you the best.
I'd rather be that. I'd rather kill the queen, honestly.
Oh. It's not me, no?
No. I think that's like the first time I've smiled since I got the envelope.
and he's like, you're not quite the Ellie that we know in the current time, but he looks pretty scared. Like this big kid Goliath he looks like a fully grown adult. He immediately looks scared of you, like he wouldn't even put up a fight. And then,
do you not want to go? You have until morning, no?
I don't know if I have a choice, right? Do I have a choice? And I look at him like I'm looking for answers.
He looks at you like that's not even a question. Like, why would you even? It's unheard of.
Right. You're right. I don't know why I said that. I should please don't tell anyone.
No.
I just it's just hard. I don't know what to do. I know what I have to do. I don't know if I can do it.
You are.
But if I don't do it, then I let everybody down, and then Zach is gonna be pissed, and who knows what happens then.
Look, you are the best. You're the best one of us, yes?
That's what they say, but I don't know if that's true.
Come on. You throw a knife, catch that mango. Remember, in the middle of the air. It was amazing.
Well, I was aiming at a fly, but it was on the mango. I got it though. You're right. I did.
Yes, it was a good throw. It make me want to, be better. I am not good at throwing knives, eh?
Picks up one of the daggers. There's just daggers everywhere in this place, and he starts throwing it up in the air. And he's pretty good with it. He catches it, it spins, and he starts throwing it around.
Hey, look.
You probably shouldn't do that. I don't want you to cut yourself.
No,
I can't get distracted. No, and I walk up and I snatch it away from him.
Hey, you can keep that, eh? Good luck.
Yeah, well, thanks. Thanks for the dagger. Just pray I return, I guess, and do what I needed to do.
Good luck killing the queen.
It's not the queen, no.
He winks at you.
Not the queen, eh?
All right, good luck. I'll kill the queen just for you. And I I'm just like, oh my god, and just like start walking towards a bed.
Yeah. Are you guys in the doorway? The other two?
Yeah, we've just come in. Probably at this point, and we're watching her. I want to see how long it takes her to notice us.
It's probably like midnight. Generally speaking, when you're given a name, there isn't really a time limit on it, but you know that the initiation you have until sunup. You can give me a perception check if you want.
Okay.
Teen Ellie.
Are all of my things bad now?
You've been nerfed quite considerably, yes. You
Yeah,
also,
8.
just for everyone that's aware, Ellie is level 1 and the other two are level 2. An 8.
Ellie's too preoccupied with this name that she drew, and she doesn't. I think she's like, her heart's still racing, and
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of the ways that I'm either gonna do this or gonna get out of doing this.
Yeah, there's no way she sees you two there. Like even Wolf Killer doesn't see you there. He's just kind of resting, relaxing, doesn't see you two. I don't know what you're doing, peering into the room or doing the Scooby-Doo thing with your heads, or if you're just literally on the outside
I think
of
we
the
were
doorway.
inside the doorway, I imagine, on either side. I'm probably just leaning up against the door frame. I'm waiting for her and watching her, really. I'm just kind of like studying her.
Yeah.
I was trying to listen to what she was saying to
I think
Wolfman.
you heard the whole thing, yeah. She
Okay.
she heads over to her bunk and crawls onto the bed maybe.
I'm like sitting on it with my
Yeah.
feet still on the ground, and I'm just like staring at the piece of paper. And my fingers are like running over it, and I'm just like, it's clear that this is really bothering me. And maybe perhaps for the first time, I'm very visibly just upset, pure upset. Ellie is usually pretty happy and enjoys, training, and enjoys, even she's had tasks where she has to go steal. But this is one where she's like, no, I didn't sign up for this. But she did. So, I don't know. I would say I sit there for what feels like a very long time, and then finally I fold the paper, I put it back in the envelope, and I sort of stuff it in a pocket. And that's when I stand and turn towards the door, and I look at you two. Who are you? Are you just... And I know who you are, but I'm just like, I'm so out of it. Who are you? Are you here to spy on me? Did Zach send you?
We're your initiation team.
Right. Right, I get a team. Right, you're there to make
Everyone
sure
does.
I don't mess up. And
We all had to go through it.
I look at Aya, and I'm just like, I think that of both of them, Aya would be able to pick up just how like terrified I actually am.
Oh yeah, I was giving you as much time as you needed because I remember what it was like for my initiation. It's never easy, so.
I guess we gotta do this. And
We don't have to do it. You do.
Wow.
Yes, thanks, Zell. Thanks. Thanks for pointing that out. You know what? You want to point out the obvious with, Wolfman over here? You go ahead.
You can
Zell.
shoot the shit all night, but you got something you gotta do.
Unbelievable. And I just shove my way past both of them.
Yeah.
Out the door towards the lobby again.
Yeah.
I smile at Zell because I love her. She's just straight to the point and gives no shits.
Yeah. Wolfkiller is also smiling at Zell because he's in love with her. And then you two leave, and he waves and lowers his hand to the desk. And I guess the three of you head back down towards the lobby area. There's a few less people in here. You guys know that roughly around the toll of midnight, it starts to empty out in the Assassin's Guild. A few more people suspiciously go missing as they get their own envelopes and targets and things, sometimes for just the evening, sometimes for weeks or months at a time, before you'll see them again. There's a few less people in here. The older dwarf that was there is gone. You also notice that a lot of the younger folks that were at that table appear to have gone as well. This is also not uncommon. It's possible that they were taken away to be trained in some way. You do a lot of training at night, from anything from hiding and stealth tactics and climbing, strength training, endurance, and then weapons and stuff like that. So the place seems to have thinned out a little in the 20 minutes or so since you were last here, but there's still a few people around, sort of kind of looking up at you now. I think a few of them see you come back in, and they look like they go to speak to you, but they don't. Again, same situation where people kind of look away from your stare as you walk in, or don't quite meet your eyes and go back to whatever they were doing at the desk.
I'd say I don't look at them. I'm normally I greet everybody and I'll say I know everybody's name and everyone knows my name, but this time I'm just staring at the ground and I'm putting away the daggers. I'm putting my bow behind my back and making sure I have enough arrows. I check my pouch that has poisons in it to make sure I packed all the right things, and I'm just not looking at anyone. And I'm quiet, which is not like me, and maybe that's why they don't talk to me, because they can just see that something is wrong and they probably know why.
And then do you head out?
Yeah, I'd say at that point, I just head out. I look towards the door, the corridor where Zach would be though first. I stand there and I pause like I'm expecting him to come out, and when he doesn't, I just sigh and I walk out.
Yeah. And I guess your team follow you out. You head out into the evening, back out onto the same street that we recognized from previously, where the Duke and Trap is. A little different. There's no snow this time. It's maybe a warmer evening, but still nothing compared to the horrific snow covered Bellona that we've been in. Relatively empty street. The Duke and Trap, you can hear a few people from inside kind of laughing and drinking, and there's a clash of glass or something like that, but it's not a very busy pub. As you appear once again from this basement, you walk out onto the open street. Again, big city life. No one even looks at you. No one cares that you're there, and the three of you step out. What's the plan? What do you do?
I'm gonna go to my. This is the tricky part. Well, I know where she is going to be because I kind of have a decent idea of her schedule, and seeing as it's nighttime, I'd probably stop by her home first.
Okay.
Not to go in or anything, but to just peer in through windows and stuff.
Check she's not home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ellie starts moving across town. So She lives a little further away, a little bit further out from what is essentially, we'd established previously, relatively near to the center of town. You know that Gertrude kind of lives a pretty standard looking life. She just seems to be just a normal person with a small little room that she rents on a street on the outskirts of town, and you maybe start maneuvering through town. Again, it's late. People are still out, and it's relatively busy here in the center of town. But as you start to get towards the outskirts, there's a lot less lights on. There's any family homes and things, they've all gone to sleep. Anybody that gets up and works early have all gone, and the people around these parts start to thin out. And I think probably you three move down alleyways and move down the darker streets that people avoid typically at this time of night with a lot more ease. And you know all these little shortcuts and secret little alleys through the town. So you guys probably moving through these cuts a little bit of the time off. Your average person wouldn't think to take this route, wouldn't even dare. There's no doubt they would get hit by a bandit or a rogue of some kind. It's going to cut their purse minimum. But the three of you move through these alleyways perfectly safely, perfectly fine, before eventually Ellie leads the three of you to another unassuming kind of road. Almost all of the lights out here. You approach the building. You look up to the first floor. You can see from the outside that the room that she rents, there is no light on.
I'm gonna try and get up to the room.
All right. By what means? You can go in normal means, or you want to try and
Yeah, I think I
Assassin's
would
Creed
go
up
in
the
normal
wall?
means. I would turn to the other two, and I would just say, just keep a lookout outside. Make sure.
What are we doing here?
Don't worry about it.
Okay, well, you don't
I just have
a lot
something I
of
need to
time.
get from inside, and I'll be
Okay.
back out, and we'll go to the target.
All right.
I
Yeah,
look
so-
over at Aya. Maybe this is the target.
I look at Ellie. I'm kind of a little bit shocked.
Aya would know this person if she found out the
I
name,
do
right?
know.
Okay.
Yes, I do know
And-
who this person is, and I know who they are to you. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm a little bit surprised that we're here.
And then when I see that look of shock, that's when I give you a nod. And my face just looks like I'm about to break down in tears. And I turn around and I walk in.
Yeah. You head in. There's a little stairway that leads through past some doors, kind of like when you see homes that have been turned into a block of apartments or something like that. They've adjusted like what feels like a small a hallway that leads past two rooms that can probably be rented. Maybe one of them belongs to the guy that owns the building that you would know. You hear probably from inside somebody having a conversation with somebody else on the lower floor. Not a big deal. You can hear two men speaking, and then you head up the stairs up to the second floor to the room that belongs to Gertrude. What do you do at the door?
I just walk in.
Door's locked.
I try to lockpick it then.
Yeah, give me a thieves tools check. It will query you, but you want to use dexterity, I think. Let me double check.
19.
Damn. Yeah, it takes a little moment. You take a little while. You notice that the lock appears to be a very simple lock. But as you start to work it, you realize that actually it's a little bit more of an advanced lock than it appears to be, but nothing wild, nothing you can't pick. It takes a little longer than you expect, but only by maybe 30 seconds before you hear a ka-chick as the door unlocks. And then you turn the handle and open it, and you can see inside to darkness again. No lights on at all in here.
Pretty much know my way around this room a little bit. And I'd say, like, I immediately, as I'm quietly trying to walk through the room, I walk up to her dresser and I sort of pick up this photo, and it's of her, and she's younger, and it's hand drawn. It's not actually like a picture. It's hand drawn by someone, and it's of her and her late husband. And I take it out of the frame and I roll it up and I put it in my leather pocket. And then I pull the dresser back, and there's this floorboard that's loose, and I pull it up, and I look down inside, and I see some parchment that's been wrapped and tied, and I grab it out.
Okay.
That's where she kept a map of wherever she is right now.
Yeah. This is the sort of emergency map
Yeah.
that you and only a few people are aware of that gives you the location of the Thieves Guild.
Yep.
Do you look at it in here? You have
I'd say
dark
I'd
vision,
already
so you
looked
have a
at
pretty
it.
good idea of what's going on, but
Yeah, I would say that I've already looked at this several times, and so I don't look at it just yet. I just tuck it away for now, and I probably put it in my quiver, honestly, since it'll fit in there.
yeah.
And then I start to make my way back down. I don't really take much time reminiscing, but as I'm at the doorway, I do turn around and sort of look at the room one more time. And I just deeply sigh, and I close the door, and I start to go back outside.
Roll me a D20. This is just
Okay.
a random to determine any extra information.
12.
12. So the location of the Thieves Guild is pretty is relatively well known to you. Maybe you've discussed it with her before. Maybe she let out some information. She would have explained to you that there's no way that you can go there. You have, just like there is no way that even a prestigious member of the Thieves Guild could ever walk and just waltz into the Assassins Guild without, an invitation or accompaniment, and even that is pretty much has never happened in your experience, at least. The same thing goes for the Thieves Guild. You have to be an initiated thief or somebody who's at least training, that kind of thing. It's a very similar situation. The Assassins Guild and the Thieves Guild probably know each other, maybe work together. They're definitely not enemies.
They also have like this mutually beneficial relationship where they don't mess with each other, and they sometimes help each other out.
Exactly.
So
There's no real bad blood between them, and as far as you're aware, there hasn't been in as long as you know. Again, the Thieves Guild is located down by one of the larger canals. There's a set of canals that run through the entirety of Bellona. There are some larger ones that people use for transport and for maneuvering things up and down. They use little barges and small boats and things to move up and down. And there are smaller ones. The Thieves Guild is located at one of the smaller ones, relatively near to where the Assassins Guild is. That on the south side of that kind of inner core of the city. There is a particular canal that runs east to west, and the Thieves Guild is located down on the dock side of what looks from the outside to be just somewhere that you can hire very small little boats to go up and down the canals. The entire thing is a front. It is just a boat hire thing, but really no one actually hires them apart from fake people that just members of the Thieves Guild that use the boats to pretend to hire them and use them to go up and down the river. Really, if you head in there and you head beyond the entranceway, you can get in through the boat hire building, which is set down and underneath the roadside. So you go down to the dock side, and then you go underneath the roadside into a set of secret underground corridors and tunnels that are behind this inbuilt.
and I think that's kind of what the map would kind of show, is like the different entrances and how this is like one of the more secretive ones.
Right. But the information is stuff that she would have told you. It wouldn't be present on the map. One of the other things that she would have told you on a 12 is that they purposefully set it by the dockside because anybody that walks into the Thieves Guild with wet shoes is known to not be person that they might be posing to be. Disguise self, that kind of thing. There's magics that can get you to change shape and stuff like that and just walk in the front door. Even if you had access to this map or information from torturing one of the other rogues, the dockside is always wet. And anybody that walks in and leaves a trail of footprints and wet boots is a sure giveaway that they are, in fact, not one of the, or whoever they say they are. Might not necessarily be useful to you here, but it is something that you're aware of. You guys heading down there then, I guess? Or, well, I guess you walk down roadside and the other two, you see her come back outside. And I don't think it looks like you have anything extra with you.
Yeah.
You heard no commotion from upstairs.
Was she there?
No, she wasn't there. That would have been too easy, wouldn't it? Couldn't make it easy.
So what's the plan?
Well, I know where we need to go, and in order to do that, we have to find the docks and find the entryway into the canals for the Thieves Guild.
And how do you plan on doing that?
Oh, I know how to get there. It's being undetected and making our way through these canals, which I haven't actually been through them. I could have maybe explored them a little bit, but I didn't know this was how this day was gonna go. So, anyone good at navigating mazes? I look between you two.
I look to Zell to see how much help we want to give. You're muted. Sorry.
At this, no, thank you for telling me. Otherwise, I just ramble. I smile, and you can see that I have fangs, and I kind of lick one of them. I don't know. I don't think we should. I think you need to do this.
Right. I need to do this. Well, if we get lost and you don't help, that's on you too. And I just turn around and walk away. I'm like kind of snickering though, because my sense of humor is just weird. Hi. All right. As we're walking, I start to whistle a little bit because I'm just trying to distract myself.
Yeah, and
So-
the walk is probably equidistant from the one that you've just done. It might take you a little while, but not too long, considering how quickly you guys can maneuver through the town. Eventually, coming towards the south side of the innermost reaches of Bellona. It starts to pick up pace again. More and more people you can hear maneuvering through the town. The pubs and taverns and inns are still pretty much in full effect. You can hear people wandering from one to another. You can pass every now and then. You'll pass a set of saloon doors and you'll hear the same familiar sounds of bards playing songs, people enjoying their night. Every now and then you'll see somebody burst out from the front of the bar and fight in the street before kind of laughing and clapping each other on the back and heading back in for another drink. Eventually you come to the canal that you're looking for. Once you walk along for a few minutes, you get to a set of stairs that take you off of the main path and down onto the more wooden dock area. Walking along there for another minute or two, you come to this boat hire, and that's all it says. It's very kind of rundown and old looking. It just says boat hire above a single door, and out the front of it you can see a few small little boats similar to the ones that you might get in like Venice, you know, those ones with the sticks, that kind of thing, as well as a few smaller rowboats that appear to be all kind of chained up and locked up on the dock. The shop appears to be closed. Single door underneath a sign, embedded in against loads of others as well. There are a bunch of doors that you walk past. Some of them are warehouses, some of them are other businesses that sell all sorts of things along here. Some of them are just privately owned. Like, I don't know what they are. Warehouses, they could be places where people live, but here you are at the front of it. How do you approach the door here? Do you do anything weird?
I would check for traps.
Yeah. What are you doing? You looking for them?
Yeah, I mean,
Been anything
I'm
special?
not gonna try and taste them or feel them. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at this moment. Are there any obvious traps?
I don't know if
Has
you want
anyone
to do
been
some
through
like
here?
throw a rock at the door and see if it explodes or whatever. Yeah, give me
I'm
an.
trying to make as little noise as possible because I don't want to alert anyone that might be in the area. So
If you guys are already kind of like approaching stealthily and cautiously, you can give me stealth rolls. And
Okay.
then Ellie, give me an investigation check.
okay. 19 and 15. 19 stealth. 15 investigate.
19 stealth, 15 stealth. You two should have played twins. And then a
Yeah.
15 on the investigation. Yeah, you guys kind of do the thing where you're like shiftily looking back and forth. You walk down onto this kind of thin wooden dockside, and it's supported and structured, but it's still wood. Therefore, footsteps make a little bit larger of a slap if you're kind of just walking casually. But none of you make any noise whatsoever. Keeping to the underside of the road allows you to sit in a constant darkness. There's no real light that reaches down here. You don't see any lights that are lit along the dockside. There are no boats moving up and down the canal, though it is possible that one could come past with a light. The watch do actually move up and down on the river, but it's still, again, pretty rare. There's some light coming from some of the lamps that are on the roadside and some of the houses and inns and things, and it lets a little bit of a glow across the road, but none of it reaches down here. If anything, it allows for a little bit more of a shadow, and you guys all creep along towards the opening here of this this boat hire. However, Ellie, I think you start to move in and check specifically the doorway. Yeah, just start moving.
Yeah, I would say like the doorway area, just anything around there, because I have no plans of like it would be like the path to the doorway and the doorway. I'm not worried about it veering off at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a door. It sits practically flush against the underside of the road, which is pretty much built out of cobblestone, and it's like being under a bridge almost. When you approach the doorway, you can see that it just seems to be a pretty standard-looking door. It's a thickly built, strong-looking wooden door. Breaking the thing down might be an issue, and you can see that there is what looks to be a sort of a brass padlock looking thing on the handle, and then also a lock on the door itself. It's kind of double locked here, but really you don't see any traps. It doesn't appear to be anything odd going on here on the front of the shop. That also might not be too much of a mind-blowing thing for you guys, that this is supposed to be a front, and therefore it just looks the same, locked up the same way everything else is. You don't see any traps. It doesn't look like they've put anything here that any random passerby or child could activate at any point and end up with a poisoned arrow in their thigh. Yeah, it is definitely double locked. No traps. Doesn't appear to be anything untoward here either, like some sort of magical scrying orb that's looking down at you or anything like that.
I'd also like to keep an eye out on the street for anybody that might be walking by or anything like that.
Yep.
Which was that perception that I rolled.
Okay. Yeah.
16.
No. Again, no one really seems to have given a shit about you. And
Okay.
they never really do. If you guys showed up in Bame, where Aura's from, and you three darkly clad, kind of hooded figures, you might be the talk of the town. But here, you're a dime a dozen. You probably see guys that look like you all the time that are just people that live here, and it's just a flower merchant, and you're like, well, that's just a fashion item. And yeah, no one really. Not only do you guys naturally stick to the alleyways and things, but no one seems to be following you, seems to care that you're there. And again, there's
Okay.
no one on this kind of silent stretch of dockside. You might hear some footsteps go past above you, but you can hear that it's like a man and a woman kind of talking, like, oh yes, I can't wait to get back. Yes, well, you have to buy me with more alcohol, and then they're gone before you continue with whatever you're doing. So yeah, you really do seem to be alone down here, or at least no one seems to be aware of you. And I've been kind of assuming that you were hyper-vigilant as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was keeping an eye out in case anybody sees us, because that's our job.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you seem to be alone. Although any moment now, your main worry could be anybody running down randomly from the street, or somebody taking a boat up the canal, which is very possible.
Okay, so that's kind of what I want to be on the lookout for then.
They'll see
any
you
weird things in the
regardless of stealthy, bullshit. You can't actually go invisible. It's very likely that anyone on a boat would see
But I
you.
need to take their eyeballs out if that's the case, if they see me, right?
Right.
I just want to make sure we don't miss anyone.
Yeah.
And then also, so how are you, Ellie? How are you checking for traps? Were you actually throwing a stone, or are you just looking at the door?
I'd say I'd be looking for visible signs of a trap. Kind of like a tripwire. There'd be a small silver, line that would maybe flash at certain angles, shit like that, where I wouldn't throw a rock at a door just because I think that would make noise, and I don't want to bring any attention to the fact that we're about to try and walk through the door in case someone's on the other side.
Okay. I would also like to look for any visible signs of tampering or traps that may have been laid here.
Oh yeah, give me an investigation check.
3.
Natural 1, natural 3. You look this thing over. I think maybe you start to run a knife along the inside of the doorway. Sometimes things can be held in there, or secret latches.
Oh, I'm not actually interacting. I just want to look. I'm going to let her do it, but I just wanted to see if I saw anything there.
Then you see
Well,
absolutely nothing.
wouldn't.
But you also are not convinced that there are no traps when she says that to you.
Okay.
Can I scan for traps?
Yeah. Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
No traps. They set this thing up to look like any old thing. It's you can tell though it's a cover. You are able to work out, even though you know it, but for sure the way that this is laid out, the way it's set up, it's all too inconspicuous. This is for sure a front. You're used to seeing fronts. You guys are breaking into places a lot, and you're pretty well trained. While you're still somewhat rookies yourselves, you at least, for some reasons, Alicia, are pretty aware that this looks like a front. Everything is meticulously placed. The door looks like it was scratched before it was installed, that kind of thing, to make it look old and run down. So if anything, that would give you the confirmation that this probably does lead into the Thieves Guild. But this door is not trapped. Nothing's going to explode or come out at you. What's on the other side, you have no idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything.
I'd already stand and start walking, or try to see if it's unlocked, and check the door handle.
Neither of the thing is, the door is not unlocked. There's a lock that sits underneath it with a large keyhole, which is extremely easy to pick and to unlock. But there is also a padlock that sits between a latch on the door, so you can either pick the lock on that or take the thing off if you wanted to do it that way.
Can I look through the keyhole?
You can look through the keyhole, yeah.
I'm gonna try and look through the keyhole first.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah. Except for perception's so bad. My wisdom is so bad.
Yeah, because you're young. You look in. Your dark vision does allow you to kind of see inside. You can see that immediately on the right of the keyhole, it looks like there's a wooden something, maybe a wall or even a desk or something like that, like a something that's partitioning the room on the other side. Maybe it could be a hallway beyond there. It could be a something on top of it. But really, you can't make anything out through the keyhole. It's really hard to see much. It's not a big enough keyhole. It's not like a giant thing. And I think really it's just that you're just unable to see anything.
Well, then I just try to pick the lock and then remove the other lock.
Sure. Give me a Thieves' Tools check.
Just once or twice?
Twice.
Okay, well 10, I guess, on the
10
first
for the
one.
lock. Yep.
And then 9.
9. So you're trying to remove the other one, so you can you can like unscrew it, right, and take it off.
Yeah, just unscrew it.
The 10 is a pass. You barely even need to use Thieves' Tools. You can probably jam a dagger in there and wedge it upwards and then unlock the thing. You push it across. It's like a chub lock, kind of like a medieval version. And you do that very easily and very quickly. Then you start to try and unscrew the padlock. And as you're unscrewing the screw, it just endlessly unscrews. You have a small little screwdriver, and it just keeps turning and keeps turning and keeps turning and keeps turning. It never comes out. The first screw never ever comes out, and it doesn't even look like it's loosening.
Do either of you have a better screwdriver?
I step up to help her. Yeah.
And I look at my screwdriver, and it's old, and it looks worn. Like it's just not connecting with the screw, and I'm starting to get pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to give it a go as well?
Yeah.
Give me a thieves tools check as well. When it queries, you give me sleight of hand. Oh, sleight of hand, I mean dexterity, sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
Haha.
I was looking
9.
at the word sleight of hand. Same thing happens to you. You start unscrewing it with your set of tools here, and you start unscrewing the thing. The screw turns, and quite easily, but it just keeps turning and keeps turning and keeps turning and keeps turning.
So I have a question for you. You can choose one of your skill proficiencies and then also be proficient with thieves tools. Is there a way I needed to select that on the tool
Sorry, what?
for future rolls?
What are you reading this from? Just when you make...
Rogue first level, you get expertise on your thieves tool and then something else, but I don't know how to make sure that that's happening on Roll20 for future rolls. So
expertise, you want to... it doubles your proficiency, I think. So you should be getting a +4. So let's see here. You got a +5, +2. So yeah, that would be an 11. Let's see how if I can adjust your bullshit. Expertise. There you go. There's a drop down. So in theory, I'm just gonna roll one. In fact, roll me again, just so I can see that it's working.
Yeah, you fixed it.
And then +4. So, what I'll give you on this is it's either a very, very threaded screw, or it's a trick screw that's designed to just never come off.
Okay.
And it's just always going to spin. You're not going to take it out.
Yeah. This is always going to spin. This is a trick. See, you notice how, like the threading here, when you turn it like this, it'll just always turn. It looks like it's going to go, but it never actually does.
Can I take my dagger out, jam it in between the lock and the door, and just like start pulling?
You can, yeah. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. Another thing I'm probably not good at. Oh no!
You do it. You do the thing. You
okay.
You break the thing off. But it's so loud. It's so loud. It just makes a terrible... You hear the cracking of wood. It jolts the door open where it's been unlocked. And the thing pings off. Ping! Hits the ground. The lock and everything rolls across the stone behind you and falls into the water. Dung, 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 plop. The door... Gung, 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 in the door frame. It's pretty fucking loud. It's quiet around where you are. It's a very, very loud thing. A few seconds pass. No one seems to be coming for you or anything like that.
My eyes are just wide, and I look at Aya like, oh shit.
It was horrifically loud for what you wanted to do. However, the door is openable now.
I'm gonna look around. So nobody noticed? Like, do I know that nobody noticed?
Give me perception checks if you guys want.
Yep.
I will roll my secret evil dice. 9, 15, and 15.
We should have been twins.
I know.
It's creeping me out a little.
On the outside here, no one seems to have noticed, as far as you can tell. You can't account for the inside, but nobody like pops their head over the edge. Nobody is suddenly running down. There isn't anybody around here that seems to give a shit about this horrible noise. Whether it was like it was loud, and it was especially loud considering you're trying to be kind of stealthy. But yeah, it doesn't seem like anyone seems to have noticed you on the outside here at all.
So Ellie, I would just recommend next time not being so loud. I just kind of smile at her.
I punch Zell in the shoulder. Not like playfully punch. Whatever. Yeah, I did. Whatever. You know what? Whatever. This day could not get any worse. Those are words I'm probably gonna eat though. And I will start walking down as quietly as I can.
You going in?
Yeah.
I exchange a knowing look with Zell, like the day is most definitely going to get worse. And then I walk inside behind her.
All right, give me stealth
Yeah.
checks if you're stealthing your way in creepily.
16.
15, 16, 11.
How do I turn that off again?
Sorry, what?
The double roll?
Doubles. I'll do it on the break, which we're going to
Okay,
go
sorry.
to right now as you creep inside the doorway and head into the front, at least, of what Ellie seems to have revealed to you guys to be the Thieves Guild, the much hidden, secret, almost twin of the Assassins Guild or the Shadow Syndicate. And each of you kind of quietly begins to head in. And I think from our perspective, we see all three of you slip inside the door and it close quietly behind you. And some drunken man falls out from a tavern above where you are and rolls into the street and then vomits. That is where we go to a little break.
Whew.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget that we have our new show starting up, so write down the date of the trailer, which will play once again immediately. And remember when Ellie was the best ever?
No,
Man.
I don't.
She came so far. All right, we'll be back after the break. Thanks so much for watching, and okay, bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tablestory's Dying Order. In the past, I think roughly 10 years ago. No, 5 years ago. 10 years ago. That would be absurd. So, y'all head down into the thieves guild. Well, no, actually, no, you don't. You walk into a room, just a room. Here, as you close the door behind you, it just looks like a small merchant's hovel. Just a little simple room. There is a pretty large front wooden fronted desk that sits up on a slightly elevated level to your right, with a big chair for someone to sit in all day. There's a pot of ink and a quill on top of there, and nothing else. Behind the chair, there is a case, like a pretty large-looking storage locker-looking thing with a little brass lock on it. And then there's a back wall that has all sorts of sailing things, oars, bits of brass and copper banding that might be used on the fronts of smaller boats and things like that. There's even things like fishing tackles and rods and stuff like that seem to line at the back of the wall. Not necessarily on sale, but probably come with certain hires and things like that. For all intents and purposes, it looks like a very small room which has served as a genuine looking boat hire room, and that's it. No doors, no windows that lead out or anywhere else apart from the one behind you.
Would this be on? This wouldn't be on the map at all.
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, am I muted? Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn back, I guess, and look at them and be like, have any of you ever been here? Probably a dumb question.
Have we?
Yeah.
I don't know why you ever would have been here.
All right.
Okay.
If you've
I
been
just
here,
Shake my head at
would
her
be
then.
insane. There's no way you've been to the Thieves Guild. No one has, unless you're an actual member of the Thieves Guild, which you're not. And this is a fake boat selling thing, right? Like, it's just a front for the taxation people, and that's it. Like, you can't actually hire a boat here, so there's no reason that you would ever have been here. No. You might have walked past the place 100 times, but
Can I do a perception check for footsteps, like in like the dust or something that's down here? Because I imagine this place is not upkept, and so if someone had walked through here, there might be tracks.
yeah, although it's not a perception check, it's an investigation check, or you can do a
okay.
survival check to sort of activate tracking if you'd like.
Can I do both? Like just a look around the room and then kind of investigate for any traps or anything?
Sure.
9 for investigation.
Ellie pulls out a magnifying glass and starts looking around.
Yes.
10 and 14.
You look around the room. On a 10 for your perception, kind of looks, again, you don't get any more than what I kind of described before. On a 9, Ellie, you notice one thing: your own footsteps, all of you. There are wet boot prints all around from where you guys have walked into the entranceway here. You also would pick up on that. And on a 14, you what did I write down? Yes, you what are you looking for specifically?
Any traps or anything that's unusual?
You looking around this place, it totally seems completely above board. The walls are all like load-bearing walls. They're holding up the pathway and the road above you. There's a reason there's no window on the front of this place. It's a load-bearing wall. It can't have any instability to the structure. And you notice that you go around the walls. You are very aware that each of the walls doesn't have like a secret thing. It doesn't seem like any of them are hollow or there's anything hidden behind them. But when you step up onto the area where the front of the desk is, there's a slightly elevated piece of the room that you step up onto a wooden platform, kind of, with the chair on it. It doesn't seem too untoward that would be in the room, but not only does it feel hollow to touch, when you look towards the chest there, the chest seems very off to you. Maybe assuming that there's something wrong with the chest here, you get close enough, and this is where I'm going to fold in your perception check. You can hear the sound of dripping, like you were in a sewer, or like there was a cave drip to a tunnel. It sounds like it's underneath the area where the chest is, and as you bring your ear down towards where the chest is, you can hear that underneath here there might be a tunnel way. It seems to lead away from maybe down below or behind that where that chest is.
I lock eyes with Zell and I gesture towards the chest. What's Ellie doing right now?
I have
Ellie
a magnifying glass and I'm looking for footsteps.
She's looking at her own footsteps.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't say it's that bad, but no.
I think you guys are doing the
like,
same thing, but
yeah.
it's the Aya. You pick up on the chest first. Being at
I'll
first.
start making my way towards the chest, and I'm assuming it's locked.
It is, yeah. It just looks like a lockbox, kind of a big wooden thing. Pretty big, like a locker, foot locker. A big one.
I'll try to start picking the lock on it.
Okay, give me that thieves' tools check.
Okay, and I just click that under the tools.
I actually would stop you. I think I would reach
Okay.
out and grab your hands, because I don't know if opening the chest is a trap, but I think I would do that. I think we need to. So then I point, because I'm trying not to speak while we're in the room. So I point to the chest and I point to my ears, and then can I move the chest?
Give me an athletics check.
I'd be watching them at this point, obviously not looking at my feet still.
10?
10. How are you trying to move it? You like dragging it, kicking it, pushing it?
I just want to show her that it's movable potentially, if it is. I don't want to like lift it and drag it all the way. I just want to slide it a little bit.
Totally not movable.
Uh-huh.
Can I do an investigation of it while she's trying to move it?
Yeah, give me the investigation check.
20.
Damn. You work out exactly what's going on here. The chest is not a chest at all. The chest is just a thing that sits on top of one of these wooden panels. The lock you can unlock and might open up the chest, but it probably wouldn't do you much because as you start to look over the chest and realize that it doesn't move, you see behind the chest and the wall, where the wall connects to the wood here, is a little odd. There's some wear, as if the where the wall meets the wood has been worn away and eroded, and just a little smoothness going on at the bottom of the stone there. As you kind of look back and take a look at what's going on, you start to piece together that probably attaches to that, and actually underneath where your feet are, just in front of the chest, underneath the wood there, is probably a large or multiple large hinges, and if you lift the chest upwards and towards you, it's going to act like a door, like a trap door. It's going to open up towards you, and the chest is irrelevant. It's just a big kind of door thing. Whether that's going to activate things, you're not too sure, but it doesn't seem like it. It looks like it would just open up, but it's probably relatively heavy. Whatever fellow sits here all day might be a big burly fellow. There's a big chair sat in front of the desk, so it could be a strong man type fellow, one of those. I mean, like not a feminism strong man, but I mean a classic vintage strong man with the things, not those guys.
Handlebar
Mustache, like put him up here, see that guy, to open the thing for people. That's maybe what they do. Which also might suggest that there's one just underneath the thing as well. That being said, you've all been traipsing around and wandering around, so they might know you're here. Who knows? You kicked open that door pretty loud.
I'd look at Aya and I'd point at the hinges.
Can I gesture
You
for
don't
Ellie
see
to
the
come over?
hinges. You can work out on a 20. It's ridiculous somehow. I don't know your mechanic, but this thing is probably on hinges underneath here that allow it to swing forward to you based on how you've worked out the stone and movement. And that you can see that the planks of the wood are in such a way that they seem to all be a lot closer and solider, like a door underneath where the chest is.
Okay. So when you gesture, I'll see, okay, it's not something I move. It's something that will move. So then is there I kind of point to the room around, like maybe there's something, a lever or a hidden knob that will make the chest move, right?
It's not.
Because it's...
Yeah, so because I worked out that we have to pull it up, right?
Yeah, like lifting the chest, or maybe like there might be some way to do it that they do it that you don't know. Like they might have a stick with a hook that pulls the thing back, that kind of thing. Maybe in amongst all the things that are on the other wall. But yeah, it's not a lever or it's not a mechanical based thing. It's essentially a door on the ground with a chest super glued on top, right? And you've just got to open the door. But how they do it, you're not 100% sure, but it wouldn't matter if you just literally lifted the chest. It would open it. If you've got whatever device they use to open it with as well, that would work too. It seems to be...
I would probably... Yeah, I don't think I know that. So I would gesture around the room to be like, maybe there's something here.
I would stand up at this point and just lean really close into her ear. Just say, it's a door and we need to open it. But she needs to figure this out, not us.
I mean, I'm like standing. I already said I turned my attention back to you guys, and I'm like right there.
Give me an investigation check, Ellie.
Okay. It's getting really dark here, by the way. Sorry. Normal. 22.
So, you see them kind of loitering around by this part of the room, maybe, and you kind of saunter over. They move out of the way and pretend to go about their business in other parts of the room, and you start to do your own little specific investigation of the area where they are. When you're looking around, you pretty much deduct the same things. It takes you a moment to realize that the stone where the wood meets the wall is very strange and different and smooth, as if something's been like continually opened nearby. Then you realize that actually maybe the wood can come up here, and if that's the case, then this is just a false bottom. It's a trapdoor that you can open somehow. And you basically deduct everything that Zalesia did. It just takes you a few minutes longer to get to that.
Yeah, it's like, it takes me longer because I see them staring at it. I'm like, it's just a box. And then I like look closer and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I would push them aside and try to lift it quietly.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Do 15.
Yeah, you do it, and pretty quietly as well. It's extremely quiet. It's very strange.
Nice.
It's heavy, but not as heavy as you were expecting.
Yeah.
The whole thing appears to be created in such a way that it's supposed to look like a false chest that's heavy, but actually it's probably made out of like thin wood, balsa wood, that kind of thing, and then painted to look like, you know, a big, thick mahogany chest, that kind of thing. The door itself does seem to act like a trapdoor, in that when you lift it up, it just comes up towards you. You bring the thing up, it opens very quietly, and again, it's much lighter than you were expecting, so whether there is a strong man or not, not too sure. As you open the thing up, again, very silently bring it over, bring it to a soft thud on the wood, and look down. You see a set of steps that lead down into a corridor. There's a little bit of water, puddles, small puddles that seem to be coming down from natural drips. Now, where you're probably somewhere underneath where the canal is, you can see that there are natural bits of water coming down. But this looks like, if anything, it looks like an extension of the aqueduct or the sewer that runs underneath Bellona, but probably a disused area, or maybe an incomplete piece. As there doesn't appear to be any sewer stuff going on whatsoever. And it just looks like a corridor that runs further towards the east, which is where the canal was heading along and away, underneath what the rest of the shops and things would be here.
I think I would listen for any voices or footsteps.
Yeah, give me a perception check. Ooh,
Oh.
natural roll 20. You do actually hear the sounds of people very casually drinking and laughing, and it sounds like there's a tavern down there, maybe, but a small tavern with only a few people in there. You catch
Shit.
the sounds of a few people, men, women, sitting around, not like the raucous, wild, casual, like, like people drunk and fighting in the street kind of situation that you had up there, but somewhere down there it sounds not too dissimilar to when you're the Shadow Syndicate area that you guys were in earlier on, where they were kind of all sitting around. Although tonight there was a somber and an odd and uncomfortable mood, most evenings you can probably find people there playing cards, drinking, eating their meals, maybe having casual conversation. Much like the Shadow Syndicate, the only family that a lot of these thieves have are each other, and they probably spend their evenings here rather than in one of the more public taverns. And you'd find the same thing with the assassins. You're pretty aware that a lot of the thieves here are all like orphans and urchins that turn to this thing and just get good to the point where they can join the Thieves Guild and take on better projects.
Just get good for him.
Heists and things instead of just pickpocketing people on the street. Though, you can hear that there are people down there, but much further down the corridor. It sounds like much further away. She's gone.
Does it sound like the? No.
I
Can
thought
you
you were
hear me still?
stealthing. Yeah, I thought you were just like stealthing up in character.
I am really into stealth. No, I had to turn a light on. Can I tell that this corridor would lead, or this stairway would lead directly to this corridor, or would we would it seem like we had a chance to exit the corridor and not walk directly into all these people?
It sounds pretty far away. It sounds like you can easily get down there and probably start moving down the hallway. It doesn't sound like they're like right down there. It sounds like they're pretty far down and it's echoing down a corridor and then along to where you are. You guys can for sure get down there. There's no one down there.
I would start to walk down then. Yeah.
Yep. Stealthily, all of you?
Oh
yes,
yeah.
Always.
All right, give me the stealth checks.
26.
Nice.
16.
16.
22.
22. Yeah, you very quietly start moving into the sewer system looking area here. The damp looking more cavern-like portion of the corridor. Up ahead of you, you can see that it turns into there's a hard left that turns and you can make out a set of small stairs that look like they lead upwards a little way and turns into another corridor that maybe heads up once again back up to the same level that you were on, into somewhere a little further down from where you guys were off the path, and then you can make out those voices. As you come up to the edge of that corridor there, you can see this more carefully made set of stone steps. There's the water running off of the walls, and the mildew and moisture is all over, and it turns into what looks like a decent and well-kept stairway. But you can hear those voices still. They sound a little closer than they were before. Like they might be at the top of the stairs or a little further in. What do you guys want to do? I'm assuming you're like up doing the assassin up against the wall thing here.
Oh yeah, we'd be totally doing the cartoony like creep around as carefully as possible and make no noise. I'm assuming like the sounds are getting way louder at this point.
You can hear them. It still sounds like it's drifting down a corridor towards you, but compared to before, it's a lot louder. You picked up on it with like elven, earball shit before. Now you're all able to very clearly hear that there's not a lot of people, but enough that you can hear people sitting around just chatting, having conversations about things.
I would take the map out of my quiver, and I would untie it and open it up and try to deduce where we are and then where I need to go Because I would know like where her room is because she labeled it because it's her map.
Yeah.
So
You look at the map, and now the map makes a lot more sense to you. There's a set of stairs that lead upwards. At the top of the stairs, there's a junction, like an L. Well, a T actually, because you'd be coming up. A T junction. If you head straight forward, there's an open plan room, which is probably here where these people are. They've probably got tables and chairs and maybe a small bar that they use. That would be where they are. You can probably get up. You can probably look around this corner and start moving up the stairway before they see you. You need to do a right before you head there at the T junction, and then another right very quickly down another set of stairs, and that's her area. That's where she operates from. She has a little private area where she can relax, and she also has what is essentially an office, right? Zach has a very similar thing going on. He has his own room, his own private quarters in there as well. So, you need to get up the stairs, get past this room where they might be able to see you from the corridor, and do a quick right, and then you should be in the area where she is.
I point that on I hold the map up to them and I sort of show the direction that we're going to be going. And then I just roll it back up, put it in the quiver, and I start walking.
I think I grab her arm gently and I gesture towards the people at the people in their eyes. What do you want to do? Okay.
I'm going to keep trying to stealth past them and stay low and quiet.
So you guys are moving around and up the stairs into the corridor where...
Well, because you said we'd be going right, not straight first, right? And they're in the part that you go straight, and we'd be going right.
Right. Let me give you... I'll draw you...
So
okay, maybe just...
We're going to play that child's game where the parents aren't looking, quick dodge. Go.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And that's essentially what you need
game,
to do.
Right?
You guys are... my Roll20 would ever work. If here's the corridor, yeah, you guys are there. I'll change the thing. They are here. You need to get there.
Oh wow. Okay. So we have to.
Okay, I see now.
Shot down we have to make a dash down the corridor, which is
Basically.
possible, but.
Yeah, it would be I guess a quick and quiet dash.
Yeah.
So, when I look down the corridor, do I see anyone that is see anyone facing directly towards us at all?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. $13.
You guys round the corner, and there's a small set of stairs, not enough to completely conceal you, but enough that if you get down, you can actually kind of hide and look over the top of the stairway and maybe duck down, using the stairway almost as a little bit of a peeping ledge. Looking down the corridor, probably from the reverse perspective, we see 3 sets of eyes pop up from behind the stairs and then head back down. You can see that at the other end of the corridor, there are a bunch of people that look similarly dressed to you, really. Rogues, bandits, the type of people that cut purses and heist into gem-filled carriages and things like that. Sitting around 2 pretty big round tables. You can make out from here about 6 people. 3 of them eating food, 3 of them just sitting casually playing cards on the other table. All of them not even slightly looking this way, do not even seem to have really much of an eyesight on you. Only one of them is at an angle that kind of almost looks down the corridor, but he's at an angle that he's not always like looking straight down the corridor. He's kind of looking off. He's probably your biggest threat, but right now he seems to be very entranced by a set of cards in his hands, and all he's doing is looking up at the table and every now and then playing a card.
Okay.
I think that if this is, are there a lot of lights in these hallways at all, or are they pretty dark?
It's dimly lit all the way.
Dimly lit.
Yeah, there are sconces along the walls that have torches in. They don't cast an enormous glow, but they are intermittently about. The room that they're in is a lot more well lit, but all of the hallways here are lit dimly. It's not mad. There's not really any like shadow jumping that's going to be too easy to do here. That being said, it's It's dimly lit enough that you'd be able to creep around, and if you're successful in moving swiftly and quietly, you'd probably get past these guys.
I think that I would try to do that then. So, what would I roll? Stealth?
Yeah, is that what you guys want to do?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
But she gestured that was her plan. So yeah, I would follow what she wants to do.
Watching for a little moment, the three of you watching these guys play their cards. When you finally see that the chap that starts to get into his cards, you see him say something to somebody across the table from him, and you see that it's your chance to go. Give me stealth checks as you
27.
swiftly
13,
start
16.
moving. 27, 13, 16. Ellie, give me a perception check as well.
18.
You guys move. You suddenly start moving very quickly. After about 3 footsteps, Ellie, you notice the weirdest thing for a moment. It looks like a red shaft of light, like a solid shaft of light that's running across the floor where you are. Then, as you're moving, you go to maybe lift a foot up over it. You catch another one at an angle coming down in front of you before you realize that there's a weird crisscrossing of light in front of where you are, maybe about 5 feet away from the top of the stair here. What do you do?
I immediately would just bring up my arm, like as in hold.
And
And
you guys are
then
now
I would
kind of
just-
out in front
Yeah,
of all these
I would go
people.
back then. Yeah, if she's
Well, I traced the light, and does this look like something I could maneuver?
Give me an investigation check. No one's looking right at you, but you are standing in the hallway now.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're still further down the
10.
hall. They're not like right in front of you. You can follow the light. You can see this like solid red light, and it's kind of hard to fix your eye on. It kind of goes in and out of what seems to be there. It's not like a solid beam of light like a laser,
Yeah.
but it's very similar to what we would recognize as something like that. There's a mechanical device on the right-hand side of the wall. It has like a mechanical core attached to the right of the hallway. A big kind of sphere, metal, a mechanical core that's humming, not a whore, humming, and it's attached through the red lines here that are kind of glistening strangely in the sconce's torchlight. You can see those figures moving around in that break room. They're drinking. They don't seem to see that you're here or anything like that. This thing on the right is fucking weird looking and is probably one of the illegal Arcanine weapons that even the Assassin's Guild don't bother with, because it brings a lot of, dangerous Inquisition types around. I don't think you would ever have even encountered anything like this, but it's a wild-looking magical device here. Whatever these light shafts are doing that are twinkling in and out is very, very odd. But there's enough space in several parts that it looks like you might be able to kind of dexterously move through, or figure out a way to silently shut down this strange Arcanine device.
I would signal them to go back then.
Yep.
I would just be like, go back, go back, go back.
These guys are far enough away and making enough noise that you can probably whisper and be fine without having to make any checks.
Did you guys see the light? The red beams. I don't know what they are, but I have a suspicious feeling they're not going to be something we want to run over or through. It might trigger a trap. Never seen a trap like this. I don't know if we can just disarm it.
Where's it coming from?
I point out where like all the stuff that you just said, and then the humming whore. I had to say
That's what
it
it's
again.
called.
I'm sorry.
It's known as a humming whore, but you didn't roll high enough on the investigation to actually know that. Yeah.
But I point to the device, and I'm just like, do you know anything about these?
Can I roll?
Yeah, same. I don't think
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
magic, huh?
8.
21.
21. Zalisha, you've never seen anything about it. You're exactly the same as Ellie. Arcanine is super rare. It's almost mythical. No one funks with it. you've been sworn off it by the Shadow Syndicate because fucking with that stuff just brings the Inquisition down on you, and that's the last thing that you guys want. For some reason, though, Aya, you're very aware of what this is. Either you've encountered one or you've been told the story of the Humming Whore. It's an Arcanite alarm thing. It doesn't hurt you, it doesn't do anything to you, but if you touch it, it's very likely to make a loud noise or do something to alert people. For whatever reason that you're aware of this thing, essentially it's called the Humming Whore because as soon as you touch the light, someone always just shouts, "Oh, you whore," and then and something will happen. Super illegal. Crazy to see one here, but if you were going to see it anywhere, it would probably be in the Thieves Guild. They steal whatever they need. In terms of what it is, you can shut it down. And if you have a proficiency in Arcana, you can try and shut the thing down by moving the gem inside that's causing this thing to be activated. It's a magical gem that's reflecting light out. Just don't touch the light shafts. That's all you got to do.
Okay. With that 21, do I know that it's light?
What do you mean?
Like, can I slide a mirror in here and it will just bounce the light somewhere else and then we can move past?
Yeah, it's not like hard light or anything. It's just, it's a refracted light. The magic is in that it's able to, it's separate from whatever alarm system is going on. There might be other ones around that are all attached to the same thing. It's a very simple tripwire. It's like an advanced tripwire, basically. Yeah, you know that it's just light.
Okay. It's a humming whore, and we can either dodge the lines ourselves or we can reflect it back. It's like a rapier or a saber blade. Just put it
Right. Well, if we can just reflect back enough to step over the lower ones, then we should be able to get by then.
Well, yeah, but you have to be careful. It's got to be, it's probably a sword is our best bet. You can't do armor or anything like that. It's got to be that flat surface to reflect.
I pull out a dagger and I'm like, well, what about a dagger?
Well, yeah, but you'd have to be able to, as long as you can get through all the lights, yeah. Like if we duck down and we use the dagger on the bottom light and don't even touch the top light, yeah, it should be fine.
Okay.
Just make sure to keep the dagger there the whole time you cross.
Yeah, reflecting the light, stay low. Yeah, okay. A humming whore.
Yeah, it's, I guess, every time you get caught, you're usually they say, fucking whore, and then they die, right? The alarm goes off, explosion happens.
Doesn't sound very pleasant.
I guess neither is a humming whore, I guess.
I'm gonna look back at the lines and try to pinpoint which line would be the best to try and reflect as you pass through. That would give the most wiggle room without having to worry about the other lines. So kind of like, yeah.
For sure, the bottommost light. If you stick to the left-hand side of the room and you manage to remove that bottom light, you could easily crawl underneath that thing. At a slightly awkward angle, but not difficult for roguish, athletic, dexterous types such as yourselves.
You want to take that bottom one?
Yeah, I think that might be the good one.
All right. Zoe, you got it?
Only one way through.
Lead the way.
Make my way back out.
So, what's the plan? Is someone gonna reflect the light for one of the others, or you want to do your own reflection and movement thing?
I would.
We should do our own reflection and movement.
Yeah, I think that would be able to do, like, hold it out in front of you, and then you just pass through.
Yeah. You just literally hold it there and pass through.
Yep. Okay. So
you could even like hold it out and then slide your lower body through first, so that way your upper body would keep like stabilized.
Right.
So yeah.
Give me a sleight of hand check, and then an acrobatics check.
21 sleight of hand.
Nice.
14 acrobatics.
21. Stick a knife in front of the thing. It reflects perfectly, and then you start to move quite deftly and dexterously, you move and slide your way underneath where the other reflections of light are, and quite easily come out on the other side. Do you move away quickly or to stay there?
Can I actually keep my dagger there while they slide through?
You can. It will still be a sleight of hand check.
I think I'd offer to keep my dagger there while they slide through to sort of help them out.
Sure.
As in you have poked it.
I'm like
quietly
stretched
into
with
the-
She's
it
got
there.
it in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. You'll have advantage on the sleight of hand check. Who's
Okay.
next to crawl through?
I will.
All right, give me another sleight of hand with advantage, Ellie, and then Aya, give me
18.
the acrobatics check.
Sorry, stealth or acrobatics? Sorry.
Acrobatics.
17.
Same situation. She holds the thing in place. She doesn't move it at all, and you slide through to the other side. You guys are pretty close to where this room is, but behind you, these people don't seem to be looking down the hallway. You're not making a lot of noise, and you're not moving at like crazy movement speeds or anything like that either. And
They're
they're
pretty darkly dressed, I would say, so that helps.
they're all pretty far away, and you're in your sneaking suits. And then the last one's coming through. Same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, sleight of hand with advantage, and then another
19.
acrobatics check. Oh, a
12?
12.
Oh no.
You there's not a lot of room on the other side now. There's one person holding a thing here, and the other one is not trying to move forward too far so as to alert some eyeballs on the other end. And you start to shuffle through. You make a little more noise, maybe, as you wiggle through. You as you start to move through, maybe like a
Can we just... I feel like Zell doesn't care as much. It's not that she's necessarily terrible at it, but she's just like kind of doing it on purpose to see if they'll notice us.
Right,
Yeah.
your leathers start to just like scrape against the wall on one side, and there's like a shh moving through. Ironically, as a snake, you wiggle through but create a hissing noise that travels down the hallway. Let me roll one dice. Hey! You, the two of you are on the other side as she starts going through. You whip your heads to the left and look down the hallway. You see the fellow who has the good eyeball on where you are stand up and then slam his cards on the table, turn around and walk out through another exit in the back there. Nobody seems to have noticed you.
Oh, thank God.
And you're all
fine.
through.
It's fine.
You're gonna blow this for me.
It's all good, right?
Shut your mouth. And I start making my way to the corridor.
All right,
I
all
hiss
three
at
of you,
her.
give me another set of stealth checks.
27.
20.
14.
Nice. You you all move very quietly now and don't make a single sound. In single file, you move along the rest of the hallway here and then quickly shift to the right. There's a big figure standing on the right of you as you turn around the corner here, but it's like a statue of some old rogue from long
God.
ago, holding
My heart skips a beat,
holding a candle that lights this part of the hallway. There's another T section here. The hallway continues onwards, and you can see at the far end of it there's a guy standing around in front of a bunch of chests and some bookshelves. He seems to be standing in front of a locked door, but he's got his back to you. He's on the edge of the corner of the room. It looks like he's kind of standing on the corner, if that makes sense, resting with his back against it. And you see him every now and again kick the ground. However, the way you need to go is down another small set of stairs to your right, just beyond where this statue is. And just to give you an idea again, I'll draw it for you because it's probably confusing. You are... This is where you came in. You're here. There seems to be something here. You want to be there. So I'm going to give you, if Roll20 would work, please. Come on. There it is. Oh God. So you are here. You want to be here. There's a man here, and there are lots of men here, and this is the
Okay.
exit.
Is this football plays? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's definitely what it is. I 100% understand exactly. I know there are lots of rules, and they look like this when they do it. So yeah, you need to get the wobbly ball to the running man who runs down the outside part.
I'm just gonna try and stealth around the statue then.
Yeah.
As he's like facing away, I'll try to watch and then just try to sneak my way around it.
All right. One last set of stealth checks from you all, please.
12.
28.
13.
12, 28, and 13. Yeah, one by one, you move around this large statue and head down the steps down towards the area that belongs to Gertrude. You know that down these steps there is two little rooms. You round a corner carefully and suspiciously in case there are men or anything down there. As you come down the steps and turn around another corner, you see that the sconces down here are lit, but there's no sound of anybody here. The sounds of the people who were upstairs in the sort of casual area where they were hanging out dissipate. And yeah, this seems empty. There doesn't seem like there's anyone down here. As you move forward a little more and poke ahead swiftly around the corner, you can see an area where there's 3 comfortable looking chairs, kind of armchairs looking, a table in front of where they are that looks like a coffee table, that kind of thing, some rugs on the floor, and a bookshelf with all sorts of tomes along it. It looks like the type of area that the Thieves Guild leader here probably holds very casual meetings with people in one-on-ones and that kind of thing, but not an office. There is another doorway at the end of the hallway that is closed and locked.
Does it look like there's light on, like through the bottom of it?
No.
On the other side?
It looks like the sconce outside of that door is unlit. The sconce is in the area where the chairs and that is unlit as well, but there's a little glow coming in from the hallway sconce that you can see. But that door and the room there looks empty as well. It doesn't seem like anyone's down here at all.
I'd like to walk up to the door and listen then to see if I can hear anything.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
15.
You put an ear up against the door, maybe in several places. You cup an ear, listening. Take it 30 seconds. Nothing.
I think I'd try to lockpick to go inside.
Sure, give me a
According
thieves.
to the map, would this be where she would be located?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
You didn't see her in the other area. The map shows another hallway that runs along the top, and then another room that is marked as the treasury. It's where this is a thieves guild. They have a 24/7 guarded vault that you saw at the end of the corridor. Then from the map, you would assume is there. This is absolutely where she should be.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go up and try the door to see if it's unlocked.
It is not, no. The old
Okay, then I'm
trick.
gonna try and lockpick it, I guess.
I'm very proud of you for doing that, though.
I'm watching you, Ellie. How are you holding up now that we're close?
I think that right now, I think Ellie is just trying to get out of the hallway because she is terrified that people are gonna come down here.
Okay.
So it'd be a
me
certain
look normal?
intensity, but kind of like this whole, she's trying to hold it all in and just
Okay.
not show anything for the moment.
Then I look at Zell and I kind of surprised shrug maybe at her, like, you might be making some fucking money, because I thought she wasn't going to be able to do it.
I just nod my head like, mm-hmm.
So do I do thieves tools?
These tools check, yeah.
What, did it go? Aw,
8. This is a piece of shit of a lock. This is really
Okay.
advanced. This is some good shit. whichever locksmith kind of put this thing in, did so very meticulously and carefully, and has clearly crafted something individual here. It's not necessarily impossible to lockpick, but it's real difficult without a set of keys to get into this kind of a lock.
I look back at the others and I'm like, point to the lock, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with the lock because I don't have the tools, I guess, appropriate for it. Can I try to investigate to see if I can learn a little bit about it?
Sure, give me an investigation check.
Okay. 9. Of course,
Same
no.
information, really. It's just it's an individually made lock. This is a woman who lives in a guild full of thieves, so she's had a very well-made lock put on the door. Yeah, really, you probably want the key. Alternatively, you need to just sit here for either a very long time and go at this thing and hope that you don't run out of lockpicks, or really work some serious magic. Not too sure on anything else. On a 9.
Okay. Gosh. I want to try and brute force it, but I know that'd be really noisy. So can I look at the map and see if there's another way into this place? This room?
Yeah, no, you don't see anything marked on the map that would suggest there's another way in at all. No.
Well, then I'm gonna wave Aya over.
Yeah, I come over. I've been watching you.
Yeah, I don't know how. Listen, I kind of slacked off in my lock picking training, and I don't really.
Okay.
I don't know how to open this.
Okay. Do you want me to take a crack at it?
It'd probably help.
Okay. And I do that.
Sure, give me a thieves.
Whip out my kit. I maybe glance back at Zell because I know she's going to give me a hard time for helping her.
You hear me hissing when I see you reaching for your kid.
You know, this whole
Yeah.
skipping training thing for thieves tools holds up because during the thing where we got the curses,
Yep.
I think I failed like several checks there for lockpicking.
Yeah, Aya, you do it. You go at this thing. To be fair,
I
it's
show her
ridiculous.
as well.
But it has a bullshit thing where you have to use 3 lockpicks to hold one here, and then there's a secret actual there's a designed
Skyrim.
right. And you do some magical bullshit there.
Yeah.
And and again, even on a 26, and even for you who knows how to do it, it takes a decent amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, you're probably here for like a minute or 2, just really going at this thing, taking a little while, meticulously doing it, taking a second to show Ellie, and then eventually there's a as you hear the thing unlock.
And I probably hear Zell hiss as that unlocks as well, and I just kind of remember why I'm here and maybe back up and then let her open the door.
And I do. I slowly open it and look inside.
Yeah, you open the door. Inside, a very darkly lit room.
Sorry, it's been the whole session and the anticipation is killing me.
Did you your own worst enemy yourself there? What was you expecting to be in the room?
Just her waiting, like at a chair,
You open the door. There's no creak on the door or anything like that. You open it up and you look inside. A dark room, 2 sconces. Looks like it could be well lit, but isn't. Slightly domed top, suggesting that this is part of the sewers, maybe, that's been refurbished by them years and years and years ago. You can see a tapestry on one wall, making it seem a little homely. You can see a desk set against the back wall and a set of drawers on the other side. There's all sorts of papers and items and things and parchment and scrolls and books that are laid about the room, but she's not here. It's dark. There is a chair in the middle of the room with no one in it that looks like it's part of the desk situation.
I'm gonna walk in.
Yeah, and you can head on in. Nothing happens. No one there.
Okay, where to now?
Is it possible that I sit here and basically like in stealth waiting for her?
How was
Possible.
that?
I'd say that's what I would do. Is I would just look at the others, like point that they need to hide, and then I would try to hide.
Okay.
Yeah, you get into
Has-
position.
Yeah.
As we go to our hiding spots, I'd lean over to Aya. What was that about?
I think she just needed help getting in, and I didn't want us to get caught naked in the hallway.
Mm-hmm. Then I go into a shadow.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I
guys,
know I will never hear the end of this.
Give me stealth checks.
I don't even bother hiding.
29.
Yeah,
I'm
Ellie
so
sits in the
ashamed.
middle of the room on the chair. Aya
Yeah, actually, I do. I
Vanishes.
tell them to hide, and then I just go and I sit down in the chair as it's faced away from the door.
Yeah, Zalisha and Aya take up positions hidden on either side of the door, and you guys begin to wait like coiled snakes waiting for your prey. Trapdoor spiders
Gross.
sitting there waiting for this woman to arrive. 10 minutes go past, 20 minutes go past, 30 minutes go past, an hour passes, and then you hear footsteps coming down the hall. And then second set following behind. Did you close the door?
Yeah, I'd say we closed the door. We didn't lock it though.
You hear a man's voice say to another man, light that, will ya? Yes, okay, very well. We're not going to be here for too long. Where did she say it was? Right. Oh, right. here.
I would turn back to the other two where I saw them go hide, and I'd just be like, and point to the door.
You can all hear this super clearly. It's
Yeah,
only
what
noise.
the fuck are they talking about?
You hear the shuffling of papers in what feels like the room next to where you were, where the chairs were and the stuff and the little coffee table thing. Oh yeah, this is it. All right. Well, boss's orders, I suppose. Yeah, let's just get on with it. Okay, very well. You take the lead. All right. And then
I gesture for
Footsteps.
Ellie to hide. This isn't who I think your target is. Somebody else might be coming to take care of your target.
you want to hide?
Yep, I'd try to hide.
All right, give me another stealth check.
Oh boy. Now I'm nervous. 24.
You scuffle away to another area of the room and get yourself into a position, maybe behind the desk, under the desk. The footsteps trail away and head back up the stairs and away from where you guys are.
I mean, I would just stay in hiding at this point, I guess.
Fuck was that?
You guys can talk to each other. I can't talk to you though. I'd say I'm hiding in a different part.
The room is not that big.
Oh,
at
okay,
all.
so maybe
It's a
we could
very
talk.
small
Okay.
room,
Oh, so we'll just whisper. What the hell was that?
I don't know. It's obviously not the person I'm here for.
I know, but it sounded like they weren't supposed to be here either.
Do they sound familiar?
Yeah, do we recognize these voices? Are these other assassins?
Give me insight checks.
12. Oh, 20, I mean.
12. I got the 12.
Natural 20.
No,
14.
not at all. Definitely not people from your guild.
No, I don't. I mean, I know pretty much everyone, and those are definitely not people associated with us. I mean, I don't know who they were.
What do you
Does
want
it
to
seem
do?
like if we wait here, it's a waste of time?
Give me an investigation check. All of you can do it if you want. It's to work out the time.
10.
19.
14.
All of you can determine that you've spent. It's been about 3 hours since Ellie was given the envelope, which was around midnight. Sun comes up around 6.
So we have like 3 hours left.
Yeah. It's up to you whether you think this is a waste of time or not. In fact, Ellie, roll me a D20. 16. This is just for general knowledge. It's a general knowledge check to see if you've ever spoken to Gertrude about her schedule, day to day. Really, she should be here. She spends her evenings in this guild. The fact that she's not here is weird. Extremely unlikely, but not impossible. She would spend her daytime at home. You know she doesn't sleep much. But she would certainly be here by now. Or she should already have been here. It doesn't seem like she's here at all. But with that information, you have to do what you would. Determine whether you think it's a waste of time or not.
I look at Aya and I'm like, something feels off. She should be here. She's usually always here at this time. I mean, sure, she heads home at once it's daytime, but this is where she usually is. And she's not here yet.
What do you want to do? This is your call.
I mean, if we have to go back out there, then we have to go through all those traps again, and who knows where those guys were.
I think we should follow them. Tick-tock.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna take Aya's advice and follow where I heard the voices go off to. Opening the door, stealthing back out.
Give me stealth checks as you will start returning from whence you came.
Before we do that, is there anything in here in this room that looks frequently used, like a quill, an ink, or a mug, like a ale mug or anything that's been left here?
All of the above.
Great. I think about that for a second, like maybe leaving poison here just in case we don't get it done in time. But I remember that I'm not supposed to do that unless I'm absolutely certain she's not going to be able to pull it off. And then I follow out the door.
All right, give me those stealth checks.
I got a 22.
Okay.
I got an 11.
11.
24.
The snake is the least stealthiest.
Just starts walking out.
I think
casually.
she just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah.
11 is still pretty stealthy. You move out of the room and start trying to follow the voices. You can hear them still at maybe what is the top of the stairway where that statue was. Moving away, the footsteps they're just slapping their feet, right? They're just not stealthing, so they're walking along, and you can hear them. If you want to chase after them,
can I?
You can
try to hang back, but listen to them to try and see what they're talking about still, and if they clearly maybe don't belong here either.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay. Oops, I did performance. Hold on. Okay.
Pretty hard to make out what they're saying. They only exchange a couple of words at the top of the stairs, and then you don't catch that, and then they don't seem to speak anymore.
Okay. I mean, I guess I would go to the top of the stairs and try to look to see where they went off to.
Yeah, you guys all move silently up and around the stairwell back up towards where that T-junction is. A quick glance to the right, you can see that same fellow is still there, but he's sat in a chair this time with his arms crossed across his chest. He might be asleep, you're not too sure, but he's definitely not looking your way. On the other side, the sounds of there being people in the room to the top seem to have dissipated. It doesn't really sound like there's anyone around anymore. But you can hear the two men. They sound like they've gone out of the exit, the way you guys came in. Give me a perception. All of you can give me perception checks.
20.
7.
20 and a 7. and a 7. As you round the corner, Aya, you just catch the end of a conversation that says, "Yeah, we're meeting everyone there. Ah, don't worry about that thing." As they seem to have left. They sound like they're like halfway down the watery corridor that leads back out to the shop.
We should follow them. They're meeting someone there. Somewhere.
I do. I follow them.
Sure. Give me... okay. Everyone give me a stealth check and a perception check.
Oh, come on. A natural 9.
24 and 13.
18 and 19.
1 and 18.
So, you look both ways when you get to this T-junction. There's no one left in that area where they were all hanging out and stuff like that. There's still people here. You can hear a couple of people in that. There's another hallway that leads around the top of this place. And you can hear people moving up and down there, but relatively quietly, like they're just going about their business. And you guys head back on out and continue to follow these men. You wait for them to lower the chest thing, again, doorway, and then you hear them walk outside. There's a muffled conversation on the outside. Once you guys get up to underneath where the trapdoor is, you can hear them having a muffled conversation about the doorway. Yeah, something's gone wrong with the door. Oh, fucking hell, that thing's fucking falling off again, isn't it? Yeah. Well, that's a little bit weird. You think we should report it? Nah. Boss's night off, isn't it? Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. We've got a job to do. And then they seem to head away from the doorway. As you guys begin to creep outwards, I think, Ellie, you push the door and it slams. Horrible shattering noise of wood hitting wood from the doorway, and it echoes outwards. Everyone
hide.
freezes for a moment.
May I hide?
You can hide. Yeah, give me stealth checks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna try to hide.
Fuck that.
In the shop or in the hall? In the corridor?
Good question. In the hall.
In the shop?
Or I get in the shop, yeah. In the
Okay.
shop.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can hide wherever. 13.
All right. Dice roll coming in. You guys hide in appropriate places. Do you replace the trapdoor?
No, I think it crashes open. Ow. It crashes open and I just sort of like, oh shit, hide. Like that instinct of like, we need to not be seen.
Yeah. There's a little while. You guys remain hidden in varying places in this store.
Just to see if I hear anything, basically. We made a huge noise. I want to hear if anybody heard it. I don't want to take too long, though, otherwise we'll lose their trail.
Nothing. No one
Okay.
seems to have heard you.
Then I book it for the... This is probably the first time that I'm not waiting for Ellie. I immediately book it to try to see if I can catch those two.
Non-stealthily?
No, stealthy still, but
Okay.
I want to...
Stealthy booking it.
Stealth is still
Yeah.
quiet. Like, it's
Stealthy,
slow, I
yeah.
mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys all head outside, leaving the door open and things like that, running outside and looking about you. Give me perception checks. And, wow,
Wow, 8.
8.
12.
5.
You guys head outside. The sounds of the town rush back up around you, though a little more quiet since it's now roughly around 3 a.m., something like that. These guys are nowhere to be seen. They could have gone left, they could have gone right.
And there's no one else to be seen, obviously, either.
Nope.
I think I feel
There are
my heart
people
kind of
moving
skip a
around
beat.
above you.
And I look back at Aya, and I'm just like, do you remember hearing anyone when we were walking out?
What do you mean?
Do you remember, like, just moments before, an hour before, there was noises or people drinking and talking and playing games, and I didn't...
Well, yeah, they were going to meet. They were going to all meet somewhere. Where, I mean, you know her. Where do they meet?
Would I know this? Brad?
Roll me a d20.
7.
You for sure don't know where they're going. If they're meeting whatever they're doing, you have no operational knowledge of whatever the fuck the Thieves Guild are up to this evening. However, Gertrude is no longer physically active. She doesn't
Yeah.
take part in the actual heists and things like that. She doesn't get her hands dirty necessarily anymore, though she most certainly did when she was younger.
Yeah, she's more like the leader of the assassins, where he sends people out instead of going out.
She's also just too old. She doesn't really have it.
I think I would book it back down to the into the Thieves Guild where we came from. I think I would try to get back out or back down there as quickly as possible. Kind of
Where are you going?
like my spidey senses are tingling, and I feel like something is not right. I guess something's a little off.
Yeah.
Oh,
I could be wrong in it.
When she books it back inside, I look at Cell and I'm kind of throw my hands up and just roll my eyes, I guess. Like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing.
I'm just looking for Gertrude, and she wasn't in her room, so she had to be somewhere in there because she wasn't at home either. So, and we would have taken the route that I feel like she would have taken, seeing as, I mean, she kind of helped me learn this. You know, we learned from each other. I knew her a little bit, but I don't know. So if I go back down and I go to where that guy's sleeping stealthily, hopefully, can I get close enough to gauge if he's awake?
Are you two following?
Oh, yeah. Are you two following?
Yeah, we'll go with her.
3 more sets of stealth
I,
checks.
I do have a question, though.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
do we know about Gertrude?
Roll me history checks with disadvantage.
6.
Nothing.
5.
You
Okay.
know that her name is Gertrude Jones.
Okay.
And
she is.
she's the leader of the
Part-
Thieves Guild.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, you're hands off with the Thieves Guild. There's some shit.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so far up until this point, we've had you do your thing and we'll do our thing, and we're going to not fuck with each other up
Don't
until this
fuck with
point,
them.
correct?
Don't start a
Yeah.
turf war.
Yeah. So this
It's
is
generally
strange.
amicable.
Yeah.
And, not like allied, but, there's never really been any friction.
So this is strange that you've gotten this name for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Which would make it seem like there's something with the Assassin's Guild that has a beef, I guess.
Yeah. Which is okay.
Like maybe there was a cross or something between the leader of both guilds. So that's what it would seem like, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, this is not suddenly getting
It's
the
not
name of an important figure in town.
It's also not typical, I think, of initiations, where usually people get petty criminals that have like bounties on their heads, but they don't get like prominent leaders and stuff.
We don't get
certainly-
prominent
You
leaders,
guys
but we
definitely
get
don't. You guys get like spurned
initiation
lovers.
is like
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what you get. As
And
you
then
know,
I
but like
get
the
the
others, like
prominent leader.
fucking all the others have had prominent leaders. You guys know a little about Ellie as well. I think you guys. She's famous almost. She's from
Yeah.
a famed line of assassins, and there are like these wild rumors around her bloodline that she's related to people who can single-handedly defeat dragons. It's said that her bloodline is the bloodline that ended the War of the Four Cities, which is the war that put the Striel family in power by killing.
Oh, that's
by
why
killing
he. Okay,
three
that's why he's
kings.
soft on her then.
There's there's rumors. There's just everyone's talking rumors for 5 years of Ellie, and you would know that her family have been assassins for generations and generations. There are people that say that the blood of the elves run in their veins, and they have the souls of cats, and they're reincarnate of the death huntsman.
Okay.
But they're demons. They have all these crazy rumors. They're probably just rumors, right? But she's from a famed assassin bloodline. She's like assassin royalty to a degree. But yeah, when it comes to Gertrude, no, you don't know nothing. And you guys
Okay.
have never done any, like, you've never been given the name of a king or anything.
It'd
You
be interesting if you guys thought it was like spurned lovers, but it was like the leader of the assassins was the spurned lover and
Right.
just sent Ellie after
two.
her.
So you guys all creep back in.
Yeah.
Zalisha, give me a stealth.
Not I do. I don't.
Oh, you don't? You stand outside?
I got a 10. No, I just mean I'm not stealthy.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, or maybe I am, but that is a nat 1 that I rolled.
Yep. Zalisha, give me one as well.
Okay. An 11.
11. You three creep back in. This device, the Arcanine one, seems to be off, but it is making a humming noise. As you walk past it, you can all move past it again. You hear
Sounds like a,
you hear voices coming from the hallway towards the top of where the area where the tables and drinks and stuff were. All the tables have been cleared as well. But you can hear people moving around pretty nearby, but nobody's there. As you turn the corner to where the fellow at the very end is sitting, Ellie starts to get a little closer and a little closer to try and determine whether he's awake or asleep. What do you think you do, Aya, to completely fuck this up?
Oh, you know what? I think I'm watching Ellie, just trying to figure out why she came back here, and I'm a little frustrated at this point. And I just trip. I'm just not focused. I'm thinking about her. I don't want her to mess this up, but I also don't want her to have to go through with it. And yeah, I'm just in my own thought, and I just fucking trip.
Yeah, you stumble and there's a horrible scuffling noise. Fellow that's asleep is not asleep. He whips his head around and sees all three of you
Fuck.
jumping up out of his chair.
I stab him with a knife. Can I kill him?
He's about 30 feet away from Ellie and about 35 feet away from you.
Yeah, I will fire a crossbow.
I think before she does that, as he jumps up, you
can
see
all
Ellie
do something.
Ellie, you see her freeze and then grab her bow, and she pulls it back, but then you see hesitation, like she doesn't want to kill him.
Right.
And so you see the bow shaking in her hands.
And Zalisha, what do you do?
Can I go into a shadow and hide?
Okay, give me a stealth check. You give me an attack roll, and Ellie stumbles.
10.
Okay, yeah, you disappear behind that statue that was there. 11 is a hit. Give me the damage.
10.
Ellie, you panic. You look at this man. He looks at you. He opens his mouth. Blood running out from his neck, an arrow sticking out from where he is. He begins to stumble forward, holding his hands out towards where you are, and then falls face first onto the ground, gripping at his neck. He's not dead, but he's choking and blood everywhere.
Do I also get sneak attack?
No, because he's not.
Because he woke up. Okay.
He's not. There was no advantage, and he's not standing next to Ellie.
Okay.
I think I sort of I try not to look at him. It's disturbing, and I put my arrow, and reattach my bow, and I walk past him.
Sure, yeah. He's laying on the ground, choking and choking. He's reaching up towards where you are, and then slowly his movements slow down before he comes to a full stop. There's a pool of blood now running out from his head, from his neck, and you move past him. There's a huge iron wrought door sitting in the wall here. The kind of thing that looks like a vault door here, with nothing on the front that would seem to allow you access. No spinning bullshit thing, no door lock, nothing like that. There are some bookshelves and cases and parchment and things around. Give me a perception check or an investigation check, depending on what you're doing, unless you wanted to do something else.
I'll try to investigate for a way in, maybe a secret thing that you have to pull or turn or something on the shelf or around the door?
Yeah, looking this thing over, it's a proper vault, and it seems to be missing 2 key parts. It's missing whatever they use to open it, whatever kind of handle that they use on the front has been removed and presumably hidden or something somewhere. And there's also a recess that suggests that another element goes in here, something that might activate it. Again, this seems like it might be an Arcanine thing. It looks like a fucking advanced piece of magical technology, maybe. And that it might be a power source that goes in this, as well as a handle, and then that's how you open it. It's insane. This thing, breaking into this thing is a whole other job. I mean, you can, by all means, you can try and do it while you're here, but
I want to put my ear against it to see if I can hear anything inside.
Yeah, give me a perception check. What is Zalisha and Aya doing?
6.
I am retrieving my arrow from the guy, closing his eyes, and I'm just making sure he's dead first of all, and then I'm making sure there's no sign that it was us.
Sure, yeah, he's totally dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it then. I just want to make sure it's very clear that it's not us.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Zalisha.
I'm seeing what is Ellie doing at this exact moment?
She's like
Probably
looking
putting my
over
ear-
this vault here, trying to see if there's a way into this final room.
Okay. Can I also investigate to see if there's a way into this room?
Mm-hmm. Give me an investigation check.
I'm still behind the statue. I got a 13.
You on a 13 are pretty convinced there is no way into this room without full-on knowledge of how to get into this room and the items it takes to get into the room.
Can I frisk the guy that died, looking for any sort of thing that would have any hint to maybe like keys or stuff like that for the guild?
Yes. Give me a investigation check again. All investigation and stealth. Welcome to the rogue episode.
21.
21. You find a bunch of stuff on him. You find a set of keys. One of which is absolutely a crazy looking key that most certainly opens the door to Gertrude's study. There's keys that probably open the front of this place that you guys broke into already, and keys for varying other doors, as well as probably his own personal keys. You find a pouch that has a bunch of just stuff in it. There's like little trinkets and gems and like a little satchel of stuff on him, as well as a bunch of gold and silver. And there's also a rolled up piece of paper, and on it are several names. There is a list of 3 names, and then a set of notes at the bottom. The 3 names say Kinris, Borin, and Winifred. The notes at the bottom say, "No boss tonight. This is the order.
Fuck.
Everyone else is following Kinris, Borin, and Winifred." That's it.
I just let out a very long sigh. And I walk up to Aya and I show her the bottom of the note where it says "No boss."
Shit. I thought you knew her routine.
Well, obviously she took the night off. She's not in routine.
Why would she do that?
You know, I honestly don't know.
Has she done this before? It's okay. Just stay
Has
calm.
she done this before?
Yes. Roll me a d20.
Okay. 14.
The only times you can remember her doing this are on your birthdays.
Oh my god.
Is it my birthday?
It's not. No.
Oh my god.
But it is my initiation day.
Yeah.
And where was she whenever she would take the day off on my birthdays?
At your house.
I
Your
think
little room.
Aya would maybe see it. Maybe Zell would miss it. I don't know. But it would look like I just got hit by a truck. Like, the look on my face would just
Are you okay?
be. I think I know where we gotta go.
Where do we have to go?
I have to go home.
She's at your house?
I guess we'll find out. And I guess this would be kind of weird for Aya to hear, but I would start to walk out.
And all three of you heading back?
Yeah.
So I think you guys head out, and it's pretty easy to do. Everyone in the Thieves Guild seems to be on a job here. They are not here. There's a few people moving around. You avoid the body and then head on out and start moving back through town, back towards the same area where the woman lived before. You have a room here, right? And I don't know whether you inherited it or whether you just own it, but you've had it since for at least 5 years. And you start moving back towards the outskirts of the center of town, moving up towards the road that you live on. Eventually you get to the area, and much like Gertrude, you just rent a room. Almost everyone in this city just rents a room. It's the same thing as you might get in modern days, in that there's ridiculous pricing on an entire building. Renting a room, not too bad. And for you, the cost has been covered. It always has been. You've had this room for 5 years.
I would say it's because of Zach.
Right, okay.
So, like, he kind of just took over.
Yeah, and it's paid for. You've always had
Yeah.
everything paid for. And you come back, you head towards this place, and where is the room? How do you get there? How do you access your home?
Honestly, I feel like it was almost a little girl in me. Even when I was younger, like 8 or 9, I had a ladder that would go up to the second story, and it connected into my room, and my window would have like a lock and all that. But it was nothing too sophisticated because, I mean, we were just a bunch of commoners, right? And so that's how I would always access it. And the reason that I got to keep it is just because it made me feel special and sneaky. Like some like little kid childish thing, honestly.
Yeah, you
So-
how do you approach your house? How do you get in? Going in through the front door?
I think I would look around and see if like the ladder's still there, and noting that it is, I'd be like, well, shit. So I'd walk up to the front door. Yeah, and try to open the door.
Yeah, you can open it. You let yourself in. You open the doorway. What are the other two doing during this time? As she
I
steps
think
into
I'm-
her room.
Yeah, I think I'm I hesitate because I am confused as to why we're here, but I don't want to leave her alone in there either. So I guess I'll walk in with her. If she is there, then there's a chance she either knows we're coming or perhaps she thinks we will have finished her initiation.
Right.
So I don't think she'll know we're there for her.
Is Alicia as well? Same thing, walking in.
Yeah, I'd walk in and lean in the door frame.
Yeah. So, Ellie, you walk in. As soon as you open the door, there's a wonderful smell of cooked food. And as you step in, you can see through to the little cooking area that you've got in this room. There's quite an elderly-looking woman sat at the small table, and in front of her, she seems to have made you a meal, and it looks fantastic. Chicken breast, cooked in her famous herbs and spices gravy. There's a side of fresh vegetables. She's poured you a little glass of wine, and she stands up, smiling at you warmly as you walk in. And she picks up a little penny and wraps it. She just looks like a grandma. She doesn't look like the leader of the Thieves Guild or anything like that. Her grey hair tied behind her head, and she says, "Oh, my dear, what a terrible evening you must have had." And she moves around and pulls the chair out and says, "Now, I don't want you to tell me about it, all that ghastly business, but I have made you dinner. And I've managed to swipe you a bottle of Merlot from the finest establishment in Bellona. Trust me, you're going to need the wine from now on. They say a diamond is a woman's best friend, but, well, I do love a diamond, but it's never quite got me through the day like a glass of red."
I turn back to Aya and Zell, and I'm like, please leave.
You know we can't do that.
Just stand outside. Just get out of the house.
I look at Aya.
I shake my head. I'm upset, but I can't leave.
We've all done this before.
I gotta do this without you guys here.
No
Stand in the hallway. Stand in a different room.
No can do.
You can see I'm like visibly pissed off at Aya now, and I'm just like staring at you for, I don't know, solid 10 seconds. And then I grab my dagger out, and it's shaking in my hand. And I turn around to Gertrude, and I think she could probably start to see that water's forming in my eyes.
She is watching you quizzically. She watches this exchange, and from the background you can see she slows down her movement, she stops, and eventually she just kind of lets her hands hang at her side. And as you turn around and she sees those tears, she says, "You've not done it, have you?" That bastard. He thinks to snatch away your humanity, turn you into little more than a tool, a stone-cold killer. Well, this is certainly one way to achieve that goal. Callous as he is, he's smart. Well,
You think that's what it was?
yes, my dear. If he knows anything, it's how to sharpen a knife. She has a necklace that you've always seen her wear with a very large kind of amber gem on it. She grips it and holds it up away from her and says, "You know what happens if I squeeze this gem? Every thief in town descends on this place in moments. Ellie, my dear, though I never have had children of my own, in a way I have so many all across Alexandria, and you are like my own daughter. You are special and dear to me." She snaps the necklace chain and throws the necklace out of the window. And she says, in fact, she shoots a look at you two if you're still in the room, the two assassins. She shoots you a knowing look and then turns back to you, Ellie, and says, "I am old. Frankly, you'll be doing me a favor."
I don't think I can do it.
If you don't do it, they'll kill you.
Yeah. No, they'll kill me. And I point to I and them. And I kind of like hold out the dagger. Like, I want to do it, but I can't. Like, something's just preventing me.
She walks up to you very closely and she grips your wrist and places points the point end towards where her heart is. And she looks at you in the eyes and says, "It's okay, my dear. Truly."
I'm sorry. I didn't want to do this. I'm sorry. And I look at her and I reach into my pocket and I give her the drawn photo of her and her husband.
She looks down at it and looks back up at you and she closes her eyes and smiles.
Just thought you should have something pleasant to look at.
She opens her eyes again and says, "I do, my dear."
And I start to press the knife into her just barely, and I just look at her and I go, I'm really sorry. I've always loved you. And then I stab her.
Yeah, she holds the smile. You can see a quiver at the edge of her lips. She holds the smile for a long time before falling quite weak. She stumbles a little.
I help her down.
And then you help her. She falls slowly.
I hold her head in my lap, and I just like pet her hair.
It's a pretty quick death. She pretty much holds the smile for the entire time, and from underneath where the food is cooked, underneath the table, maybe 10 feet away from where you are, you see a little black shadow move out from under the table, and it's a kitten with a little bow wrapped around where the collar would be. And that's where we end today's session. Thank you very much for playing, players. Thank you very much for watching, everybody.
I didn't get emotional, you did.
Mm. You guys okay?
Yeah.
Can I do shout outs or should we just end the
No,
session?
I'm fine. I'm good. I'm
All
good.
right. Well, there it was. The Ballad of Ellie Elian, and I think a lot of answers for Ellie's character as well, and some of the decisions, especially with last week when we spoke after last week's session. We thought as a group we decided it would be a good idea to do a flashback here to start to figure out why Ellie makes the decisions that she does and why she's kind of so cold, and with all of the added elements to you as well with the undeath and things, it's it's getting more and more intense. And there I think is the first, when was you really the undead? An interesting thing. Also, by the way, in the room next to the room with the woman where there was the chairs and stuff, the little meeting room, that's where all the answers were for like where she was. Just saying. That's what I did. I also kind of planned to have you in there like a dungeon, but I thought it was quite nice to have it more theater of the mindy. Actually created the entire thing. I'm going to prove it to you real quick because you probably don't believe me. That we had the whole thieves guild kind of mapped out to a degree in here. But I was really enjoying the way that you guys approach this with your brains and things. So it was kind of fun to do it this way instead. All right. Well, let's do a quick round of shout outs, and then we'll see you next week, right? Yes. Sorry, we've got some disruptions coming up. So, quick round of shout-outs.
When's PAX?
The week after.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I'm not going. I just know that a lot of people are.
Yeah, no, we'll be off on the 1st as a warning. We're just going to skip the whole week because everyone's missing. And so we have another episode next week with the full cast. Returning back to, this is going to be one of those moments where it returns to that moment as you put the pentacle in the door. Yeah. And we'll continue from there next week. But until then, where can people find you? Let's start with you, Ellie.
You can find me at Pocket on almost everything. Twitch and Twitter and Patreon. I stream games, do cosplay, take photos. That's pretty much what I'm doing now. I took a nice gory photo set for Valentine's Day. And this last week I had a lot of fun trying to brainstorm ideas with Brad about this episode. I thought it was actually PB's idea, I think.
It was, yeah.
To do this it was. No, I meant to do the Ellie lore drop because I admit Ellie's pretty reserved, but I think that's just part of her character. So thanks for making me cry, Brad. I didn't expect it to end
incredible
like that.
RP, by the way.
Thanks.
You didn't have a lot to work with because both KPP and I were playing shadowy people that
Yeah.
were quiet most of the time. You did an incredible job.
That was good.
It was
really
very good.
So
Yeah, okay, there you go. Go and question Pocket on her channel during the week about the things and work out all the justifications for Ellie's coldness. And also, it's weird how now the similarities between Suna and Ellie, who argued last week,
Yeah.
because the week previous you had dealt with Mother Numera, and now she's got this, and maybe that is another reason, you know, it brings it up in her mind and overreacts to things. Yeah, which I thought was fun. While I was penning this episode and planning it in my head throughout the week, I was like, that's kind of cool. What about you, KPP? Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm Katie Peters Place. I played Zalisha for you today. And I am playing Shadows of the Colossus right now, and I'm playing through it, and we're at 9 of the Colossi. I think that's how you say it. So we got a few left to destroy. And yeah, that's what I've been getting up to. And I'm celebrating my birthday on Friday if you want to come hang out on my stream. So yeah, that's what I've been getting up to.
What are you doing for your
Doing
birthday
anything
stream?
We're going to do community games because we haven't done those in a while, and just kind of hang out with the community and play Jackbox and probably do some fun inside jokes and create some new inside jokes. So come hang out.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, well, put that down in your diaries on Friday to go and see Katie Peters Plays. What about you, PB?
That was amazing. That was really, really, really good.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was great. I am playing through Earthbound right now, doing kind of a JRPG kick. I played Blade Runner, which isn't really a JRPG, obviously, but after that we did Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, and probably after this we'll do some Final Fantasy Tactics. But you can find me at Twitch and Twitter at Pumpkinberry, where I will be doing that. And then also, obviously announced Wednesdays, starting the 4th of March, I will be jamming Gone, which Brad will probably play the thing before we end today.
Hell yeah.
But
I'll
he
play
should
it
shout
again.
himself out first.
I'm in that.
He is in that.
All right,
KPP
there you
is also
go.
in that.
I've got nothing to shout out. I've been playing Mass Effect. I'm playing
Mass
Mass
Effect?
Effect 2
You
on
kidding me?
Tuesday.
You had like an end that I've never seen before that I'm not going to say in case of spoilers,
It's
but
the
I
best.
didn't even know that was fucking possible.
I was so happy
So,
with it.
Yeah.
Putting
he
points
starts-
into a useless thing to wind chat up worked out so well. Yeah, Mass Effect 2 I'm starting on Tuesday if you want to watch
was
that.
Joker?
I stream
Probably the best.
I stream every day pretty much at around the same time. 9 Eastern. 9 a.m. Eastern, not 9 p.m. So if you're a morning kid or you're at work and you want to watch an idiot be absolutely awful at
So
being a
are you
human.
starting Mass Effect 2 on Monday?
No, Tuesday.
Or Tuesday, okay.
I am so busy. My eyes and brain hurt. I don't even know how I put this together in time, but I did. Thank God. Pocket gave me a lot to work with by sending me things throughout the week, and then I still had to come up with a twist. I was like, damn it, come on, brain. Come on, you can come up.
Really?
I need to, well, listen, the whole point was, the whole point of this initiation, as Pocket said in her own words, the first job of stripping someone of their life, hardening the heart and the mind, that's like the whole thing, right? Like
It's stripping away any innocence someone would have left, and the only humanity Ellie had left at that point was Gertrude.
right. So I had to.
She was
crush
literally the
you
only thing
somehow.
left. Yeah.
Because if it doesn't,
Yeah.
it was the.
I thought it was going to be her birthday, you prick. I honestly, you were like
Whose
the only
birthday?
time, hers, Ellie's.
Oh.
The only time she's not around is when it's your
Yeah, it's when
birthday.
she
And I
does
was like,
so-
you
Well, she did just recently turn 15, so
Right,
it's
yeah, she probably
initiation
did
year.
do it, but it
Yeah.
was more
Yeah.
that she puts together a nice. She just thought you were gonna come
wanted
home.
to
she was a
celebrate.
nice
Happy
little
initiation
thing.
day!
Yeah, you're a woman. She was so
Yeah.
happy. She was bringing you like a glass of wine and
I
stuff.
can't.
And
Can I ask a question? I know that we're trying to wrap up here real quick.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Can I this is a question for Ellie. Why the knife to the heart? Like,
I think it would be
instead of, like,
symbolic,
poison?
almost.
Yeah, okay.
I think it would be symbolic. The knife to the heart would be like, she now no longer has a heart either by
Oof,
destroying
okay.
Gertrude's, that sort of thing. And
Okay.
also this idea of like, I don't think that she would want to poison her. I think it would have to be something that would make her bleed out and just kill her fast, and not cause any
Yeah, you did
extra
the.
pain.
Yeah.
There's a pretty quick kill.
Yeah. I was just curious
It's
because I
as
thought.
humane as you can do with a knife.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those like a broken heart. It's
Yeah.
it's kind
That's
of
good.
symbolic in that sense.
It was,
Yeah.
it was
So.
good. And then I John Wicked
very
with the
good.
cat.
Yeah, you
I know.
fucker.
I was really like the whole time I'm like waiting for you to be like, I just want to pet my cat before I leave, because I was like in Schrodinger's cat world where I wasn't sure if you had the cat yet, but I was like, dude, it would be so awesome if she gave you the cat. The last thing you see is a fucking birthday cat. That's what she did. You kill her, and then there's
And that's
one
the
last
cat that
thing.
follows her around every time
Right.
she's in
Yeah.
town.
That's her. And then
Yeah.
there's like, maybe there is still a slither of humanity left.
Yeah.
Within the cold heart.
God, that's so
Of
fucked up.
Ellie
It's just
Elian.
a constant reminder. Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go full
All right.
Vader, baby. All right. Well, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. We ran over a little bit, but I thought it was worth it. So we'll see you next time. We are here next week. We are 100% here next week. Make sure you write down Katie Peters Plays birthday, and make sure you draw a dick butt next to it. And then we will be doing Gone, which is at the end of this trailer. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. I can't remember anything. My brain is shut out.